Welcome to the light stand, ladies and gentlemen. You all have been blowing us up with questions on this topic, and I love it. And I'm glad that I have some friends that can talk to this topic because I haven't dated, I haven't been single since 2002.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
when dinosaurs ruled the earth. I don't think MySpace even existed back then.
Probably not.
So, I want to introduce my brand new friend, Yahaira.
Yahaira.
Yahaira. Yahaira
Piñon.
Piñon, all right. Mr. Mikey Briseño in
What's
the house.
up? Hey guys.
And Mr. Sergio. Sergio, what's your last name?
Balandran.
Balandran.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't even know.
Sergio Balandran, guys. So, welcome to the light stand, guys.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the light stand. I know we were talking a little bit in the living room. You guys, have heard a couple of podcasts, a couple of episodes. Some of you, and
My bad. That's
no,
it,
dude,
yeah.
you're good. You're good. So, but no, thank you. First of all, just thank you guys for volunteering to help us on this topic, which is dating, especially dating as a Christian, right? As a believer. I can only imagine now. I can kind of, this is like an alien world for me. So it's kind of like, have you guys seen Avatar?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like y'all are on Pandora,
Oh my god.
and I'm like, I'm like, oh, what is it like out there?
Oh my god.
It's like this wilderness
Yeah.
to explore.
Monkeys.
I'm a little bit versed just because I have a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old, and they've dated. They've both had their first serious girlfriend, right? And so I'm not going to pretend that I was part of the world, but I hearing and listening and asking them gazillion questions, social media, and I can imagine that it's tough out there. So we're going to kick it off by I am going to read a comment that started this whole thing. We're going to keep it very anonymous.
Okay.
Just as respect. So, this person sent a video and it says, I would love as a married couple if you both would address this issue that also isn't talked about in church. Side note, Nat, the three of you guys already met my wife, Nat, and she's just not feeling 100% today, so she's with us in spirit.
Right.
So okay, disclaimer there. So I'm gonna read this, guys. All right. So
Go for it.
this says, "Let's talk about the elephant in the sanctuary.
Nice.
There are few men in church. This is not a universal faith problem. Islam doesn't have this issue. Judaism doesn't have this issue. Even the Hebrew Israelites are fully staffed. But in Christianity, we're pretending like the shortage isn't real. But your eyes and the data say otherwise. Men make up only 41% of church populations. In black churches, even lower. And the men who are there, 1, they're already married. 2, they're emotionally unavailable. 3, they're just there to network, not to kneel. Kneel. Some love church, but not Christ. Some love Jesus, but hate accountability. Some want a wife, but really want a maid. And to women, the advice stays the same. Quote unquote, just stay faithful. Quote unquote, just serve. Quote unquote, just wait to be found. But what field is Ruth supposed to glean in if it's just her and the praise team? We've built sermons around waiting for Boaz, but never stopped to ask, is Boaz even in the room? This isn't about giving up on faith. It's about letting go of false expectations, because the impact is real. Bullet point. Christian men are in analysis paralysis, waiting for a sign instead of making a move. Bullet point. Women aren't single due to lack of value, but lack of viable options. Bullet point. Singleness is being stretched past its design. Bullet point. We've spiritualized stagnation. Bullet point. Romantic passivity is being preached as piety. Piety?
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 Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the post. So I said, hey, what's on your mind with this post? We want to ensure that we address your concern because there's a lot of points there. And she said how there's a disparity with male attendance in church, and the single women are left with very little choices to find any dates. Then there are women that find a date outside of church and are judged harshly for doing so.
Mm-hmm.
As a couple, how did y'all manage to navigate that? From the male perspective, how does that disparity look for you? And then from the women's perspective, how did you manage to wait until you found the right one?
Dang.
Nice.
All right. So
Strong question.
strong question, right?
Yeah.
So
Hefty.
I'm just gonna, before my mind goes somewhere else, I'm gonna address that right away. When Nat and I, again, both of us haven't been single since 2002. So, when we met, it was in high school. It was junior year. She hit on me, by the way, and she really did though. She wrote me a letter in algebra class.
Nice.
She tapped me behind, like, cause I sat in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the second day of school, right, guys? And I sit in front of her because I saw her. You know, I walk into the class late. There was this chair open in front of this gorgeous girl, and I sat in front of her. I was like, dude, yes, you know. So she taps me on the shoulder like 30 minutes into the class,
Yeah.
and then she hands me a little piece of paper, and it says, "Hey, what cologne are you wearing?"
Nice.
Oh,
What color
that's a
were
good
you
line.
wearing?
I'm not gonna tell y'all, man.
No,
This,
come on.
you know, this is secrets, bro. No,
She had game.
yeah, she really did. No, it was Curve.
Mm.
Curve.
Oh yeah, that was the
Okay.
thing back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I still wear it.
Oh
Nice.
wow.
Makes sense.
Number one, it's her favorite cologne.
Yeah.
And number two, it's $30, bro.
Back in
Nice.
that day, you're saying 2012. I was 11. I think I started wearing perfumes like around that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I had the Curve for girls.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, that one smells
so I
pretty
remember-
good too,
Yeah.
for sure. So, okay. So she says, "What cologne are you wearing?" Right? And then I was like, "All right, just to make sure she's hot, you know." So I turn around and I see her, and I'm like, "Ooh, yes, dude, she's fine." So I'm like, okay. I wrote back. This is all before texts,
Right.
and
Yeah.
before,
The
you know,
notes.
Yeah.
a piece of paper, guys. I said, "Oh, I'm not gonna tell you." She writes back, "Why not?" And I write back, "Because you're gonna go buy that for your boyfriend."
Oh.
And then she writes back, "I don't have a boyfriend."
That's smooth.
That's smart.
Uh,
Smooth, man.
So both of y'all had game.
You know, I think we can wrap this up, guys. This
Yeah,
is
that's-
not.
There it is.
There
That's
it
how you-
is. That's the
that's how you do
secret.
it.
Use that next time, man.
Smell
You gotta
good.
use the cologne, the
You
right
just,
cologne.
yeah, you just gotta smell good. No, and then she was, so I don't have a boyfriend. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, what's your number? And the rest is history, right? I think, we started talking, and maybe like 2 weeks or 3 weeks into just chatting, I was like, hey, like, can you want to be my girlfriend? And she was like, yeah. And that was it. The rest is history.
Yeah.
So I don't want to bore you guys there. That's number one. So we met way back then. Number two, God was nowhere near to us. Or backwards. We were nowhere near
Both of you?
to God. Yes.
Oh.
We were not Christian. We were in the world, all over the world. We, you know, yes, we quote unquote grew up Catholic, but not really. You know, like only
Yeah.
by tradition, only by like
Just Easter.
just
and
Easter and maybe
parents.
Christmas, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
My parents never owned a Bible. You know, the only one that I had was that tiny little one that they give you like when you're walking out the door,
yeah,
you
the
know?
New Testament.
Yeah. And then even that, I just threw it under my bed because I allegedly thought it was going to protect me, right? So that was our I guess, genesis, of getting together. We didn't actually start into the Christian world until 7 years later, where, my boy Luis Talavera invites me to church. At that time, we were separated. We were separated for 18 months. We had some beef. And yeah, for 18 months, my son was already born. She was pregnant with Angelo. So it was crazy. Luis invites me to church. I accept Christ. It was Easter 2009.
Nice.
Easter 2009.
Whoa. Easter.
Yeah. And then Nat, because I'm a weekend dad. I have to pick him up every weekend. And then at that point, we were 22 and 23. And then she's like, hey, you know what? Something's different about you. Like, what's going on? And I was like, well, I'm going to church now, And she's like, oh, well, maybe we should give this a try. Like, I like this new version of you. And my only condition was you have to come to church with me. Because if you're going to be my future wife, you need to love God how I love God.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
And she was like, okay. And she went kicking and screaming. She had a bad experience with an alleged Christian back in the day, which ruined her perspective of what a Christian is. Through praise and worship, her arms are crossed, she's scowling, just like this is ridiculous, like all these people are hypocrites, and
Dang, really?
there's no way people are this happy. Yeah, yeah, bro. Like she could tell you. She'll tell you.
I think you can kind of count that as like you're dating before marriage. Like that's kind of a condition that I've heard a lot of people say. Like, hey, if you want to be with me, date me, you have to come to church.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So again, and now rewinding time to back then, I want to give you guys context. We were not educated at all.
Yeah.
About what to look for. What are green flags? What are red flags? What are your standards? What are you look for? What's your ideal person? What values do you share? Yada yada. Like nothing. It was just, I think you're hot. Let's do what we got to do, right?
Yeah.
That was it. It was like, is there a physical attraction? Okay, cool. Let's figure it out along the way. Now, fast, in retrospect, would we do it all different again? Absolutely.
Right.
But you don't know what you don't know at the time. So I think I answered that one. From a male perspective, how does that disparity look for you? I never went into church looking for a sex or a gender disparity.
Okay.
I go to church. I always went to church I'm going to seek God's presence.
Yeah.
And I'm going to seek what God's going to tell me today. And that's it. I never paid attention to, I see more guys and girls or more girls and guys. Or that never even crossed my mind, to be honest.
Yeah. But it's there. Like it is there.
Is there?
Yeah. I mean,
the disparity?
There is a disparity, but like how you said, you were going in not focusing on that. You were going in for the reason that we all should go to church, which is to seek more of an intimate relationship with the Lord.
Right.
Right? And that's...
Just put it a little bit closer to you, brother. There. Oh, perfect right there. Yeah, so that was that. And then from a women's perspective, how did you manage to wait till you found the right one? Okay, I'm going to quote Natalie and disclaimer for those of you guys listening, when the three or the five of us were talking in our living room right before we came to record, we said that we discussed all of these questions and Nat and I are on the same page. So I can, and if y'all want, you can DM us and ask us later. That's what she really said.
Right.
No,
Okay.
I trust you.
How did, from a woman's perspective, how did you manage to wait until you found the right one? She said, the person that I have, the first person I make love to is a person I'm going to marry.
Dang.
That was it.
Yeah.
And we got married.
Oh.
All right. So that was it. Again, there was no standards. There was no nothing. Yes, we had premarital sex. Yes, we did it all wrong. Yes, we had children at 20, but we didn't get married till 23. So are we the picture perfect example of, this is how you date and this is how you go through the phases into marriage? No. All right. We were so stinking broke as young parents that we never had money for a wedding, so we only got married by the church, or I'm sorry, we got married by the court, and then we went to pastor. Oh, man, I forgot his name. He used to go to Kessler, and then he went to West, and then I don't even think he goes to Vino no more. But we asked him to bless us, and he signed the marriage certificate.
Nice.
And he blessed us. So it's like, okay, we're doing everything right through God's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, we have not had a wedding
Oh.
because all of our money went to feeding these kids, buying diapers, putting a roof over our head,
Whoa.
So we don't have a wedding.
Yeah.
I would love to have an awesome wedding for our 20th anniversary, because I would love to do that for her, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what girl
Yeah, of
doesn't
course.
want to, experience that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, if you're using lack of money to not pop the question, I would say grow a pair and
Right.
make it happen, man,
For
if she's the
real.
one.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I think I answered those. All right, guys. So, now that we answered these, the floor is yours.
Okay.
What do y'all think about this post? And let's kick it off from there.
I think it's interesting, and the fact is it's something you don't talk about a lot in church.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like in a younger generation. Like me, that I work with youth, like high schoolers. It's kind of very rare that they come to you to get like relationship advice, because I feel like as a society, like how you were telling right now, that like Nat put like a note on you. Right now we only like stories on Instagram, and we expect a response with that, or we just like react to a story or stuff like that. So I feel like now, like in the age of now, like it's very different the way we communicate with people. And in the Christian church, I feel like we started taking society as a standard of relationship than taking the Bible as a standard of relationship.
Yeah.
Mm.
100%.
Because like I told you, like right now, well, all we do is like stories on Instagram, and we go on from there. And then when you meet the person, like in person, you don't even know what to say anymore. So I feel like it's a really awesome question that they're bringing up, and I don't know, man. It's also kind of hard to answer at the same
It
time.
is.
But I would say that the disparity between like men and women in the church, I feel like how Mikey was saying, is like we don't go to church to use that as a Tinder, like that we go to like seek or hope to find a wife. Or it's not like if like VJ recently happened, so it's not like I go to conference to like look for a wife. It happens, like I've heard stories of people that find their wives at conferences. But like I don't go with that expectation of, oh, I'm gonna find a wife. I go with the expectation of I'm gonna find the Lord in that place.
Yeah.
But you guys.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that's a great response. It's like a super multi-layered question, and the fact that first it talks about the disparity between the males and the females, and like how I wouldn't even say it's in the congregation more so than it is in like the people who are consistently going to church, like the volunteers or the staff or the people who serve per se. So like the people you consistently see at church, because I've seen like I've had friends since high school that have come to Vino, and like they brought their girlfriends and they both received Christ at the same time. So it's like, wow, like it's great to see that, great to be a part of that experience. So like the disparity is there, but the disparity is there in places where you're looking, if that makes sense. Like basically how to say it is, if you're looking for an answer, you're going to find an answer, right? If you're looking at the church and you see the disparity between men and women, well then you are going to find it. Like it is going to be there. And I'm not going to pretend like it's not there. I'm not going to like pretend and like it's non-existent. It can be a problem. It can be difficult. But that's where, I mean, that's like one of the many problems between church dating. Because like church dating is, how do I say this? Like it's a super multi-layered like question, and like how we can approach this. And also like not to also to mention the fact that I keep hitting the mic. Also to mention the fact that, I mean, don't like, not only church disparity is a thing, but I mean, I think they brought it up, being unequally yoked. Like there's people who go to church, there a lot of times the men can be behind the women in terms of like being unequally yoked, or like and that basically comes to where I was gonna go in my next point, where I think I heard someone say this one time, and it's not that we have a dating problem, it's that we have a huge discipleship problem. And the fact that, like, right now, like, between the women, like, I would say, like, they're being discipled really, really well. With the men, we gotta catch up. Like, we gotta step it up a little. We gotta, not that, like, we're not doing anything bad per se, but, like, we have to be more involved. We have to, like, follow up with these kids. Like, especially if you're a leader, like, check up on your disciples, check up on your boys, like, hey, how you doing, how's like everything going? And because I mean, that's where it comes from. Like, the girls, they are receiving discipleship and they are receiving guidance, so they're knowing how to approach this, versus with the guys, a lot of times they can be left like, what do I do? And yeah, like the analysis paralysis comes from like when you have so much information and you don't know what to do with it. I think with the guys, Sergio kind of touched up on it, how the whole thing with dating right now, we're basing it off more of societal standards versus biblical standards.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of hit it right on the money, because we kind of like, how do I say this, romanticize dating. Like, dating isn't just about, oh, I'm gonna find the right person and they're gonna be my everything and they're gonna, you know, like, they're an answered prayer, like this is gonna be a super sweet honeymoon phase. But I would kind of like want to propose to you as a question, when you and Nat first started dating, like, even though you guys weren't with the Lord, how often would you guys like probably get into arguments or disagreements?
All the time.
Right? And that's normal. Like, that's what people kind of need to realize, that it's okay to have disagreements. Going back to like this Psalms verse, I don't know which book it is, but like we all know the verse, we're beautifully, wonderfully made. Every person is different. Every person has a completely different personality. So don't expect someone to think the same way you do, you know? Have always the same 100%, all the values are aligned. You guys are going to have differences. You guys are going to have disagreements. And this isn't just amongst people who are dating, but people who are friends as well. You know, like, there's times where like Serge is one of my good friends. We've got into like disagreements, or like we'll talk about it. We'll be like, hey, yeah,
Fist
basically,
fights.
yeah, we hashed it out with. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so like it's like there's a thing where it's like, that's where the part of we kind of romanticize dating it comes from, because your partner is kind of supposed to challenge you. They're supposed to like be, and like obviously that comes in marriage, but like that can also come when you're barely getting to know the person. It's like, oh wow, like I feel like I have a lot of growing to do in this aspect, or I feel like I have a lot of growing to do in this aspect. And I think they also brought up Ruth and Boaz. The whole thing with Ruth and Boaz was that Ruth was in the garden not looking for Boaz. Like, she was focused on her, I think it was her mother-in-law, Naomi. Yeah. And she was like I can't leave her, like she's gonna be with me. Like she was she had a desire to keep on serving, and she had a desire to just be humble, and like, you know, like she had such a humility with her that's what attracted Boaz to her, right? And this goes both ways, by the way. This isn't just the female does the humility part, and the no, like it's a two-way street. Boaz was also like recognizing like, hey, this is a Moabite. Like these are not of my people. If I want this person, like I'm gonna have to like let go of that societal standard that my people have. You know? So I don't know, like
I feel like something like tied with what he was saying is that like as Christian men, you're taught like find your Proverbs 31 woman. You know, and I feel like that's such a I don't want to say it's a bad thing because I feel like it's good that you're supposed to have that standard of the type of woman you want, but at the same time, it's like Mikey was saying, it's a two-way street. It's like, and one thing that I asked myself that I was talking to my dad, and he told me this. He was like, "You want to find your Proverbs 31 woman?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, like that would be nice." But he was saying, "But are you that man for that Proverbs 31 woman?" It's like, are you that man of God for her? Especially like in the Christian dating, you know? It's like, are you that man to lead this woman? Like, are you that type of man that will like not lead her into like lust and stuff like that, but lead her into prayer, lead her into closer to God? But is your relationship with God also good enough? Because you can't keep your relationship with God. What makes you think you can keep a relationship with a woman?
Yeah.
You know, it's like if it's hard for you to be 30 minutes, 15 minutes in prayer, like how much more difficult would it be for you to have an honest and open conversation with your girlfriend? No.
It's interesting.
I'm very curious to hear your
Right? No,
perspective.
I'm taking all of their information in because it's good to hear from the male perspective.
Yeah.
Plus, from such a young, because even though I look young, I'm actually 34.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got all y'all beat, man. 39. I'm a fossil.
I know they're like
39.
what, 22, right? You guys are still pretty young.
I'm 22. Mikey's.
I'm 25.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Damn,
Cool,
I'm
cool.
the baby, man.
No, but this is interesting because I had been thinking about this a lot because I didn't actually really seriously start dating. Maybe just like November of last year. And it's crazy how as a woman you hear more of like you have to be so deep into the Lord that guy's gonna go out and find you, right? So then it's kind of put like such a pressure on me, just me personally. I mean, I don't want to speak for any other female, but
Right.
it's such a pressure put on me now to be so, I guess, holy, to feel like I'm holy, to for other people to see me as some like, wow, like that's a worth valuable woman, right? But at the same time, like little by little that starts cutting at you because then you're not finding somebody. I mean, nobody's finding you, right? So then you start kind of feeling, well, at least for me, I was starting to feel like, well, what's wrong with me? Am I not praying enough? Am I not fasting enough? What's wrong with me? How come nobody wants me? Like, I'm here, God. Like, I know it shouldn't be something that I should, like, really strive forward, but there's a desire there for marriage, a desire there to have children.
Right.
And I'm not getting any younger.
Right.
And so that's where I've started to see, just like in that question, like, man, there really is a disparity. Because I came from another church. I had told you that I just barely started going to Vino at the start of this year. And the old church that I was a part of, maybe at max we had like 50 people in attendance. But out of those 50, maybe like one or two were my age.
Right.
And we were both women. And the rest of them that were around my age were all married. And then after that, it just comes like the little kids. So there came a point even where my mom was just like, "No, you got to go to another church.
Yeah.
you're not gonna find your Boaz here
Right.
for sure.
Right.
You have to branch out." And I did start going to Plus, but then there came that part where that post said that men are like in a paralysis or something.
Paralysis of analysis.
And I think it's that I feel like maybe this generation's also kind of led guys to feel judged if they want to approach a female. They're afraid of the rejection. They're afraid of what she's gonna say. And sometimes I just kind of want to grab these guys and be like, just ask, you know?
Yeah.
Just approach a girl.
Yeah.
You know, not all of us are gonna bite or do something.
Right.
Just even one coffee, and then from there, like, hey, how about a dinner? Like, hey, let's go to Plus again together. go watch a sunset. I don't know, just something like little by little, and then grow something from there. You know,
Baby steps.
Yeah,
baby steps.
100%.
Like a girl over here is not asking, and I guess from now I can actually speak on of other females that I've talked to.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. We're like barely just asking for like a minimum. Just come and ask, because it kind of feels like we're being masculine. Like at this point, we're the ones kind of doing the move.
Okay.
And sometimes
Taking the first step.
it feels like it's kind of wrong.
Oh.
You know.
Okay.
But I think I speak for like more of like the older girls, the 30-year-olds and up,
Gotcha.
because we're still kind of in the conservative, more not like how it is now with social media. I feel like the new thing is to like go on somebody's DMs or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Slide into the DMs.
You like their story.
Yeah,
on
or
Instagram.
someone like me, honestly,
That
if
one is-
and I'm being honest, if I mean, anytime that I go to Vino, I mean, not that I'm expecting it, but if a man were to actually approach me and say, "Hey, do you want to have coffee right after church?" I'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it."
Mm-hmm.
But they won't, you know. And I think it's the fear of rejection, and then it's not a thing anymore.
Gotcha.
As far as the dating world is, what I'm seeing is that's not a people don't communicate face to face anymore.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's social media has kind of removed a lot of that, like one-to-one. Let's communicate. Let's talk about this in person, you know. And like that's kind of like I've talked about it with Sergio once, but like whenever we have like personal topics like that, like it's always very, very important to kind of like sort that thing out, like ask that question out in person. Like it's you have text, like you have social media, but like nothing beats like
The one-on-one.
the one-on-one, the interaction, the socializing part of it. Cause like, you know, it's kind of like the irony of social media where we're the most socialized, but also the most isolated generation. So yeah, like we know where everyone's doing. We're like caught up with what people are doing this weekend, but how often do we ever see those people? You know. So like social media does play a big part of it. Analysis paralysis, going back to that. Like and then also with like, it's the fear of rejection's real. The fear of like, oh well, it's because like I don't know if I should approach her or not because I don't know like how she's gonna see me, or like vice versa. Like I don't know if I should take the first step because I feel like that'd be too much asking. I feel like that, like how you were saying, like that's kind of wrong. I mean, not that it's wrong, but like for the most part, from what I heard, that it kind of should be, yes, men are supposed to be pursuers, right? Men are the ones supposed to be like courting the women. But and I talked about this with Sergio as well. Remember how we had that conversation? That doesn't mean like the women are just sitting there like not moving or not doing their part, not going out. You know, like if you're not going out, how are you gonna expect to find someone? You know, if you're not like hanging out with other people, if you're not hanging out with friends, how are you gonna expect to find someone? You know, and it's like first like I guess going to the friend part, it's very, very important so that when you're first starting to talk to someone, that you're like know them as a friend, like how you were saying, baby steps, because they're gonna end up being your best friend for life once you marry them, right? Like I'd imagine you and Nat are bestest of friends, and that's like a amazing part of marriage, right? That you get to marry your best friend. So like really, really like try to like befriend them first, and like then obviously don't take forever. Like don't just like wait and like, oh, like should I do it now, should I do it now, should I do it now, like is this the timing, is this the timing? But like like it's very, very important to be friends with them first. Go ask them out for a coffee. Like I feel like coffee is kind of like the whole thing that we all do. Like let's go out for a coffee. But if you already know them as a friend, like you can just be like, hey, like let's like I feel like coffee is kind of like we already know each other, we know a lot about each other. So would you rather just like go and do something that we both want to do, like I don't know, go see a movie, go take a, like instead of having that pre-coffee date, like have that official first date, you know, and then like see where it goes from there. And yeah, like that. Where did social media play a part in that? Where did like text messaging play a part in that? You know, like maybe like communicating in the fact with the dates and arranging dates. Like it's okay for arrangements, but like you do all that part in person. You know.
Mm.
But
do you think that's your experience too?
Or
maybe not
Like-
yours, like personally, but something that you see
like with social media?
with
Or-
everything that Mike using.
I think I heard this because I like to because well I've had experiences like dating outside of church and dating inside of church. You know,
Okay.
I had experiences dating not knowing Christ and experiences knowing Christ, and they both turned out wrong because I did not know how to do relationships. You know, like I could say like my relationships outside of when I was in my time with the in the world and when I was lost and everything, my what's it called? Like my standard relationships was like I gotta find a girl who likes to drink, who likes to party, who likes to go off roading, who likes to do all these things that I like to do. You know, like it's gotta be someone that's like a me version of a girl. Like
yeah,
the version of me and a girl.
Mm.
But then I ended up finding out I can't even stand myself, dude. Like, how am I
Yeah.
gonna stand someone else like that?
Right.
And then those relationships ended up turning out wrong. And then when I started knowing Christ, I had a few relationships knowing Christ that also turned out wrong because of stuff with myself that I still did not know. You know, and it sucks, man, because in the process you end up hurting people.
Mm.
You know, and I feel like as for me in my mind, it was like saying like, no, like if I'm a Christian, I'm gonna be a man of God. But I was nowhere near that, man. Like being vulnerable and being honest, I was nowhere near that, and I hurt people. And after that, like I had to talk with a few pastors. We took some decisions, made some arrangements. We made like a whole stuff to like kind of like regrow, and I started like walking this path with the Lord, where I started seeing like then in my mind relationships were becoming an idol. You know, I was taking like the standard of social media, the standard of the world, the standard of even like pastoral couples, or like couples that I was seeing on Instagram that are like doing ministry together, doing all these things.
Yeah.
I was taking that as my standard, when in reality, my standard relationship is supposed to be my relationship with God. You know, I was I heard
That's
this the other
good.
time where it was like talking about like certain people that how do you find the one? You know, it's like does the one find you or do you find the one? And one thing that someone told me that I keep in my heart to this day is like keep running the race. Like keep running what God has called you to do. Keep doing what God has called you to do. It's like you keep serving. You know, and I look at it like in the story of Adam and Eve. When God created Adam, before God gave Eve to Adam, Adam was working. Adam was serving. Adam was doing what God told him to do. Adam was cultivating. Adam was naming animals. Adam was just not waiting around and saying, Lord, when's my partner gonna come? You know,
Where's
like
my missing rib?
yeah, it's like he kept on doing what he was doing. And for me, the way that I see it now is like I gotta keep running the race and just be faithful to that. You know, it's like when Mike was saying in one of his preachings, it's like if you're faithful in the little, you're gonna be faithful in the much more.
Yeah.
Right? And one advice that someone gave me was that keep running the race that you're called to and don't stop for anything. Like don't stop for no one. Until someone is running as fast as you stop and introduce yourself. So it's like saying, like, I'm gonna keep running my race. I'm gonna keep doing what the Lord is calling me to do. And when I find someone who loves the Lord as much as I do, who is serving the Lord as hard as I am, like, there could be the chance to eventually do something.
Mhm.
No, because I feel like at church, the only relationship advice you get is don't have sex before you're married,
Mm.
and that's it.
Yeah.
That's important,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
important,
but there's so
Yeah.
much more.
but it's
That's only like 0.1%.
exactly. And my thing is like, okay, what happens when I mess that up?
Yep.
Like, how do I do relationships when I had sex before I married?
Mm-hmm.
How do I do relationships when this happened? You know? And for me, it's always been like finding strength in the Bible, man. It's like finding my convictions of what a relationship is in the Bible. And even the Bible says it's like, you're a man, you're supposed to love your wife like as the Lord loves you. You know? And I'm like, how does the Lord love me? Like unconditionally, no doubts, no nothing, no everything. But at the same time, it's like I know I also got things to work on. No, it's like I also got things to work on myself. I know that I got things that I need to heal. I know that there's things that I gotta grow more on, because it's like, how do I expect to steward a woman of God if in my mind I'm still battling with this? I'm still battling with, like, let's say lust or pornography, or I don't want to say like mental health, because I feel like we all go through that at a certain point, but like those little things that eventually become a greater thing. Because in my mind, it's like, if you don't deal with lust while you're single, or with your addiction to pornography while you're single, it's gonna go into dating part, and then it's gonna go into your marriage.
Yeah.
Because you did not break that bondage or that cycle that you had.
Uh-huh.
Right? So it's like the same thing. If you don't cure your jealousy while you're single, like, it's gonna go into your dating.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna go into your marriage.
That's
all right, man.
good.
Let me slow down real quick.
Yeah, we're going already.
Because we're going.
Yeah.
That's good.
I have something to say with that, but
yeah, please go
I
for
want
it.
you to.
No, please.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Say it.
No, so my thing is, that is so like wonderful to hear that, especially from a guy. You know, as a woman, to hear that, I'm already like, dude, just marry me. You know. but here's the thing.
Yeah, let's go.
But here's the thing. I feel like both men and women, we in church, we have those same things. Like, I want to cure this, cure that before whatever. But at the same time, I mean, what marriage is perfect?
Yeah.
What dating is perfect? I think also what stunts people from having relationships is just stopping there. Is just telling yourself, already putting a wall, like, I'm not ready because this. I'm not ready because of that. I'm not ready because of this. I think you have to, at one point, kind of like break the wall, be vulnerable, and let somebody else come in and be like, hey, I struggle with that, but why don't we struggle together?
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like that also comes with like discipleship, no?
Yeah.
Like, in a certain point, like the importance of discipleship between a man and a woman. Like,
yeah.
them having their leaders.
Yeah.
And then, like, as a couple, like getting your leaders together.
Yes. Okay. So
that's all.
Let me jump in here, man, real quick. Maybe not so quick, but we need to kind of dissect everything that you guys have chatted about, because it's a lot and it's really good. And there's a lot of misconceptions, maybe some unrealistic expectations. There's a lot that is going on there. So, okay, the first, how do I want to go about this? I'm not single. So the best way that I can answer these questions is I'm going to pretend I'm giving advice to my kids. Okay. Like to my, to my sons or to some young brothers and sister. Okay. And maybe putting myself in the position, God forbid I become single in the future. But if I, like, hypothetically, if I was single, this is how I would go about that. Okay. All right. So, no, misconception number one is the paralysis of analysis, which is waiting till I can clear all of my defects off the table before I start trying to get to know somebody.
Yeah.
That day is never going to come.
Yeah.
Because none of us are never, ever going to be perfect. And just when you plugged one hole, it's just going to uncover another place that your boat has a leak. And now you got to go attend to that leak. Sometimes it's just a missing nail that's a tiny little leak and it's an easy fix. Sometimes it's a gash that you went through, 20 miles ago or 20, hypothetical years ago when you were a kid, and you have that childhood trauma and you're carrying that into your relationships. And then you wonder why your relationships aren't working. Some of us carry a trauma of abandonment, and now you're afraid to get close to somebody, or you're afraid to let someone get close to you. I don't know if y'all have seen Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Good movie.
That's an amazing movie.
Yeah.
And if you really dissect it, here's this kid who was abandoned, who was a foster child, who was beaten by multiple foster parents. So when he finally finds a girl that is willing to fall in love with him, he pushes her away.
Yeah, he gets scared.
He gets scared, and she's and I remember the scene where she's like holding onto him so tight, and she's crying, and she's like, please, you have to look me in the eye and tell me you don't love me. After everything we've gone through, look me in the eye and tell me you don't love me. And cold, stone hearted, he just, I don't love you. Which was a lie. Inside he did, but he was so scared to be abandoned again. Makes sense? That's very real, guys. That's super applicable to us nowadays.
Right.
So we have to keep that in mind when we're looking for somebody. What is this person's story?
Yeah.
The only way, and I've said this on other episodes about marriage, is the only successful marriage or the only successful relationship that exists is when both parties are all in.
Yeah.
Both parties. All in. What does all in mean? Is you have made a commitment, a lifelong commitment to that person, but also to God, saying, I commit to become the best version of me that I can possibly be.
Yeah.
For number one, to honor you, God, but number two, to honor my spouse. And I say that because my wife and I help couples and marriages, right, that are struggling and stuff. And what we hear a lot is sometimes the spouse is just like, no, pues así soy. No, well, that's just the way I am.
You're just gonna have to deal with it.
You're just gonna have to put up with it. And it's like, oh, heck no.
Yeah.
Like, that is not, like, if you want your marriage to fail, go for it. Keep on singing that song, bro. Like, you're gonna push that person away quick, because it's like, oh, I didn't know that you were a gambler until we got married. And now what? I'm supposed to put up with your gambling forever? I'm gonna lose my car. I'm gonna lose my house. I'm not gonna be able to buy my kids diapers one day because you gambled it. And I just have to, no, pues es que así soy. No, dude, like, we have to be intentional. So back to seeking somebody. You're never going to find a perfect person. You can't, you can have your list. Yes, you can have standards. No, standards are not wrong.
Yeah.
However, be realistic, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you want, I don't know, Wonder Woman. What's her name?
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. Yeah, like, you want Gal Gadot and you want her to be a pastor. Like,
yeah.
Might not,
Yeah, might not be real.
Might not be real, like, you have to. And let me tell y'all, man, the heart is more beautiful than the physical.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
100%.
Because your physical attributes will go away. When Nat and I met, I had a six-pack. I actually did.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I really, really did. You can ask her. And it's gone, it's gone. It's gone. I have to work insanely hard, and that's just too much work. I'd have to get down to like 175 again.
Yeah.
And
Gal Gadot just had a kid, so I bet she has stretch marks.
Yeah, like, your physical goes away, man. You start getting wrinkles, you start getting flabby, you start getting, some weight on. Maybe you go through a medical thing, and what you thought you had physically is gone.
Yeah.
And if that was all that was keeping your relationship together, then you have nothing.
Yeah.
So I would say Proverbs 31 woman. Yes, like, in a perfect world, we all want a Proverbs 31 woman. But Proverbs 31 woman is speaking about her heart and her character.
Exactly.
And her attributes. He's not talking about physical dimensions. He's not talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Going back to Ruth, I mean, Boaz fell in love with her because of the posture of her heart, That's like, I think, let me go back while you're talking about it, but let me go back and reference it.
Yeah, go for it.
No, but
Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then there was another one that you said, Sergio, and which is also a question that a listener sent in.
Awesome.
So I can scratch that one off. Hold on. I really want to make sure I address all of them.
Let's go.
Oh, is there a the one, or does God let you choose?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's
Yes.
a great question.
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
There is a the one, and
God lets you
yes,
choose.
God lets you choose. Because you could choose
Great
the one
answer.
that ain't for you. You could choose the one that you're like, dang man, you know, he or she is looking smoking hot, and I'm gonna go pick him up. You didn't pray about it. You didn't ask God about it.
Yeah.
You know, he don't go to church. He likes to, get wasted on the weekends. But man, he looks so good in them jeans. And man, he plays them in guitar.
Yeah.
And man, he can sing like Sergio sings.
Damn.
And but but he has 7 baby mamas. But let's ignore those
Ignore
red
that.
flags, because man, he's so good looking.
Red is my favorite color either ways.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yes,
Yeah.
yes, and yes. I truly believe that God does have the one for you.
Mm-hmm.
And no, they're not on the other side of the planet either. Like, I believe you were planted where you were planted for a reason.
Yeah.
And I also believe that when we are attending church, we need to keep it focused. Like, when you go to church, be in church.
Yeah.
Don't
for
go,
sure.
don't go to church looking for that. Maybe this is the day that I'm going to find my person.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why are you even going to church for then?
Yeah.
Like, that's not
Yeah.
You're treating church like a Love Island.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't The Bachelor, bro. This
Yeah.
is this is God's house. So, does God put desires in our hearts? Yes. Does God know those desires?
Yep.
Yes. Abraham wanted a son forever and ever. When Abraham was 75 years old, God promised him, I'm gonna give you the son that you want. But did Abraham wake up every day thinking, this is a day she's gonna get pregnant? He also had patience,
Oh yeah.
because his son wasn't born until 25 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Abraham's story is, well, for me, it's such a great picture of dating and like the promise that God has for us. Because it's like you said, like God does have the one, but so many times, like in the story of Abraham, he wanted a son, and God had promised him a son,
Mm-hmm.
but he went and did it his own way, and then it ended
Yeah.
up kind of bad. There's a story of like the mistress and then Abraham's wife, how like
Ishmael.
Abraham's wife started treating her mistress with contempt, and then she even like kicked her out and all this other stuff. So I feel like that's such a good point, because it can lead us to this reality that if we stay in God's will, like there's no rush to it, man. Like God has his time, God has his place. Like we got to remember, God is not on our time, we're in his time.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like when we try to do things our own way, like they just end up bad. Like
Mhm.
we end up getting ourselves like in dirty breakups, in hard breakups, and in situations that are hard. But even then, in that story, dude, you can't see God's grace to it, because when this woman, she goes to a desert, God finds her there, and he tells her like, I'm gonna make a nation out of your son. So for me, it's such an amazing thing that like God still takes care of both parties. It's like you're not their savior.
Mm-hmm.
Like God is supposed to be the one that takes care of you and takes care of her.
Yes. And I believe maybe that's where the paralysis of analysis also comes in,
Mhm.
on both sides, men and women. Because, okay, God has the person for me, I heard it on a podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wait till they fall in my lap.
Yeah.
Well, that's
No,
also
don't do
not
that.
going to work there.
Mhm.
Like, you're never going to reap a harvest if you never plant a seed, buddy.
Mhm.
God didn't create a wooden table.
Mm.
He created the tree. And it's up to you to chop the tree and turn it into the masterpiece.
That's good.
Yeah. He didn't, and still before the tree existed, there was seed.
Mm-hmm.
And the seed has to go through a lot of things, right? So as you were talking, Sergio, this is another question that a listener sent in that we can scratch off. I'm being very For those, if you sent in these questions, man, you got to give me props, dude. Like, I want to answer all of y'all's.
It's awesome. Man.
So, is it true that you have to fully surrender your desire to marry and then you'll get it? That's a question.
I don't know if
Well, I mean, you said it right on the money. God put that desire in our hearts for a reason, you know? Not that you have to fully surrender it, but you have to submit it to the Lord, you know? Like it's still a desire. The desire is still there. It's not like you're going to go apathetic and like, you know, stop being, you know, emotional or stop being, you know, hopeful or, you know, no, like you submit those things to the Lord and the Lord will take care of them for you, you know?
Yes.
Hmm.
And
And
you have to be careful to not idolize that.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
for
say
sure.
that,
Like you
yeah.
said,
sure.
to romanticize it. You know, yes, I feel from a lot of these questions and you know, just some dialogues that Nat and I have had throughout the week, because we really wanted to prep for this thing, is we feel like dating and marriage for, obviously this is not a blanket statement all, but for a lot of single people, is it become marriage and a relationship becomes such an idol that you want that above everything else,
Yeah.
that you lose sight of you. You know, and it's like, hey, how about you just focus on becoming the best version of you?
Yeah.
So that when that person comes, you're ready. You know?
Yeah.
Because does your future spouse not deserve the best?
Yeah.
And are you the best version of you now?
That's good, man.
So if the answer is no, then why would you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, Jesus is coming to your house on Friday. And you're like, oh my gosh, he is coming.
Yeah.
And it's Friday, 5 a.m, and you still haven't washed the dishes, bro? You still haven't swept and mopped and, you know, ironed everything and make sure you haven't prepared the meal. You haven't even thought about what you're going to cook.
Damn. Yeah.
Like, you haven't showered since Monday.
Dang.
You know, and he's coming, dude.
Yeah.
You know this, you know, and you're procrastinating on becoming and preparing the place that God's gift is supposed to land on.
Yeah.
Could it be? I'm not saying this is it, you know, but could it be that maybe that's why you haven't found him? Because God's like, I know you want a Ferrari, but you crashed the little Ford Pinto that I tried to give you.
Yeah.
You know, you never even changed the oil in that thing.
Yeah.
And you want me to give you a Ferrari, bro? You know?
Oh, for real. So
here's what I want to do. I want to take you guys to 1 Samuel. It's how the birth of Samuel, the prophet Samuel. He was born to a lady named Hannah. Hannah had a sister who had kids. Hannah could not have kids. She was very sad about it because all she wanted was a child. Fast forward to 1 Samuel verse 10. It says, in her deep anguish, Hannah prayed to the Lord, weeping bitterly. She made a vow saying, Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery and remember me and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor will ever be used on his head. She keeps praying. Her dude Eli thinks that she's drunk because she's just like crying so much, and she's like, no, so not so, my lord. I'm not a woman who's drinking. I haven't had wine or beer. I'm just deeply troubled. It says, I was pouring out my soul to the Lord. Listen to how she puts it. I was pouring out my soul to the Lord. Question: do you not think God knows what's on your heart?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just having that candid conversation. And it says, do not take your servant for a wicked woman. I've been praying here out of my great anguish and grief. Eli answered, go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant you what you've asked of him. She said, may your servant find favor in your eyes. Then she went her way and ate something, and her face was no longer downcast or sad. Early the next morning, they arose and worshipped before the Lord, and they went back to their home at Ramah. Elkanah made love to his wife Hannah, and the Lord remembered her. So in the course of time, Hannah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel. And Samuel was a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, the book of Samuel is insane.
Yeah.
Her kid that she couldn't have, that she prayed for, is the same prophet that anointed King David.
Yeah. King Saul, King David.
You know? Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, to say, you know, does God know that you want marriage? Does God know that you want, you know, a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever? Yes. My advice to you, you know, if you were my kid, my son or my daughter, I would say, you control. What can you control? And this is something that I always ask my boys.
Mm-hmm.
What can you control?
Yeah.
In life, what can you control? And the answer is my attitude and my actions. That's all you can control.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, can you control your attitude? Yes. Does it suck that you're single right now? Or that you feel that, you know, it sucks being single? Well, sure. But you can control your attitude about it.
Yeah.
How? Well, Lord, you know how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to keep working on me.
Yeah.
Truly working on yourself.
Yeah.
Working on yourself, guys, doesn't mean watching some reels or watching some TikToks and, oh, I got therapy. I'm good now.
Yeah.
No, it's, you got to do some work.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to do some work.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially if you grew up in a traumatic environment and you're carrying a lot of this baggage from childhood,
Mm-hmm.
man, trust me, dude, you don't want that affecting, you know, your future.
Yeah.
So your attitude and your actions, your attitude about the thing is, Lord, you know how I feel, but I'm going to do me. That's the action part.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do? I'm going to be the best version of me. You know, emotionally, physically, spiritually, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to have self-discipline
Yeah.
with, you know, not looking at porn.
Yeah.
And by the way, lust and porn and temptation does not go away when you get married.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another misconception is, oh man, I just want to get married so I can stop, you know, lusting.
I think it gets stronger, no?
It probably does.
Yeah.
I would say it does, especially in the beginning, especially when you first get married, because there, just like there is a God, there is a Satan.
Mm-hmm.
And Satan wants nothing else but to destroy you.
Yeah.
He wants to destroy you. He does not want you to have a happy family. He does not want you to be happily married. He does not want you to give hope to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So he is going to tempt you.
Yeah.
That's another story. Okay, I'm done. Y'all. Back to y'all.
Back to you. No, you want it? Yeah, I knew you had to talk about marriage, so I don't know if you got it.
It just, while you were saying that, it reminded me of the conference Mujer Real. I went to that this year. And I went to the, I don't know how do you say it in English, del taller, de las solteras.
Yeah, the workshop.
Like a
The
workshop?
Workshop,
Okay, yeah. And what was interesting is a lot of the women felt like judged by just being open about, I have this huge desire, but when I've said it in church, it's brought down to like, just stop. Like, stop having that desire because you're idolizing it. But they're like, okay, but what do I do with this then? You know, I'm seeking help with, how do I stop then worrying too much about it? You know? And what was interesting is that in that workshop, the single women were from all ages. I hadn't even thought of the women that were divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And how harshly the church has judged them because they couldn't hold on to a marriage. And now they're 45 with 2-3 kids, and now they're navigating the same dating world that I'm navigating it, you know. And so it's kind of hard to even dig into that, because you do want to say like, no, just submit it to the Lord and just stick true to yourself. And then you're like, okay, but I am, but then at what point? And I think that's where you can see, even with Abraham, with Jacob, because Jacob had his own struggles. He wanted a girl, and then he ended up having to marry some other one. But then he still had to wait another like 14 years to get to the one. So then how do you tell somebody, like, don't worry, God's got it, but then they have to live with this day in and day out with maybe a guilt or a shame of like, man, I can't even say this to somebody, And I think that's what we're lacking in church. And I think that's what has prompted me to even start talking amongst this with like my friends is like, okay, so maybe the church isn't there to tell us this, but how about as a group, as ladies, we tell each other like, hey, today I feel really down. I feel really lonely, but help me, And I think that's what we're lacking, and what I hear from others is this, that we want it not just from our friends, but like the church, like the pastors, to hear more about like, hey, you guys are not alone. Everybody has felt this at one point, but find that community.
Yeah.
1000%, guys.
That's great. Great ending it off. Like, find that community.
I feel like that thing like they mentioned about community, bro, that's something super important, even as a single person.
Yeah.
It's like what you were saying, like as a single person, what can you control? Your attitude and your actions, right? So it's like, what can you do? Like, yeah, you work on yourself. You like try to be the best person you can mentally, emotionally, physically, and everything. But at the same time, it's like realizing that a person is not going to fulfill you. Like, a person is not going to fulfill your happiness. A person is not going to bring you the joy that you look for. Another person, because at the end of the day, like, you're two imperfect people. Like, both of you are not good. Like, imperfect plus imperfect does not equal perfect. It's just more imperfect. So I feel like that thing about finding a community and talking about things, because like for me, like in past relationships, I noticed that I was giving like the other person all of my time. It was like I would get home from work and I would go with this person. In church, I would leave church right away and go with this person and spend the whole day with them. So like my whole day and my whole world revolved around one person. And then when that person was gone, it's like there's nothing left. Until I started having to like really be alone and started realizing everything that I missed out on. And I even told this to my parents. I was like, man, like at one point I was even crying, man, because I was like thinking of all the moments that I missed. Because at one point, like I went to like a family event and they even told me like, damn, we haven't seen you in months. And I hadn't realized that it had been months, man, since I hadn't seen them. And then for me, it was like, man, like everything that I missed out on, and now like being single and relying on community, I found it that it's like even much better than being in a relationship. Not saying that I love being single and that I wouldn't want someone, because at the same time it kind of sucks, Like you see everybody like my age, I see people my age getting married, or people like younger than me getting married, and I'm like, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? But at the same time, I found like having a community that's around you, that loves you, that like will be there for you, man. It's so much comforting, and also being okay with being alone. Like there's times that I've gone to like the movies alone, going to dinner alone, concerts alone. Like when Coldplay came to town, I went alone, and people were looking at me like I was weird, and I was like, dude, I had so much fun with it. But like when I go to this happened recently, dude. I went to West Texas to go eat alone.
You went alone?
I went alone, dude. And it was funny because in my mind, like when we go to West Texas, it's usually for like a nice thing, like with my parents or stuff like that. So I wasn't really thinking. And because I was on my phone answering texts. And when they asked me a table for how many, I said 2. And I forgot that it was just me. So then when I get there, the waiter felt bad because she thought I got stood up. She brought me free dessert, bro.
Oh, there you go.
It was amazing.
Hey.
But it was also like I had a fun time by myself.
Right.
But at the same time, like I think I told this to Mikey. I'm like, dude, as our friend group, we've gone on trips together. We've gone to the movies. Randomly, like one text in the afternoon, hey, let's go get coffee. We all go get coffee.
Yeah.
We all hang out on Sundays after church. And I'm like, bro, I love this so much. Because I realize that I do not have one person to complete me when there's a million people around you that love you. It's like your soul happiness cannot rely on one person because there's a whole world around you, And when you make one person your world, you just get blocked by everything, dude. Like, even in the church, bro, there's like church people that love you. And I feel like I'm so grateful, bro, that I have such amazing mentors and like such amazing leaders and pastors, that there's times that I've been able to be vulnerable and be like, hey, bro, like I'm struggling with finding a relationship. Like I'm struggling with my singleness. Like I'm struggling with being alone. And it's such amazing that you can be vulnerable and open about it. Because like you said, like I can be sad about it, about being single, but I also can take a different approach. Like, bro, I'm single. Like, I want to know more about myself. Like, I want to get into more of this. I want to look for the Lord more. I want to spend more time with my family, with my friends. I want to enjoy stuff that I didn't even know I like. Dude, I didn't even know I liked running, and I love running now. You know, so it's like,
He loves running.
dude, and it's such amazing. I think there's such a liberty in it, but at the same time, it comes hand in hand with like that loneliness that you feel at some point. You know.
Man, that was good, bro.
Yeah, that was
That was
amazing.
really
Dude,
good.
I'm out here trauma dumping on all of you right now.
No,
That's what we need.
No.
this is really good. In your, so yes, I can understand. I really can. I can see it. I can understand how, when you're single, especially when you're single for a minute, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing it, to you, it seems like everybody's married and everybody has such an amazing relationship. Let me tell you, it's a lie. It's BS, dude. Especially on social media.
Oh my gosh.
So,
It's romanticized now.
ladies and gents, if you're single, I would say do yourself a favor and just delete social media from your phone for 90 days. Legit, dude. You're gonna think different, especially your 20 something and early 30 somethings, because you guys, when you guys were existing, social media was already a thing. And I think that messed up totally your communication skills.
For sure.
It totally did. It messed up your communication skills. It messed up your people skills and your relationship building and everything like that. And more than anything, it twisted what reality is.
Oof. Yes.
You're thinking.
It was in your head.
You see all these people on social media that are Instagram perfect, and you don't see how many takes it took them to film that perfect shot that you see. There was this YouTube video of this couple that they were at an NBA game, and it looked like they hated each other. And she pulls out her phone and she goes to take a selfie, and then they put the biggest smile. They take the picture, and then the dude goes right back to his phone, and she goes right back to like posting it or whatever.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then they kept, checking in on them after. Dude, they hated each other. Never like an act of affection. It was like they were two strangers. So what you're seeing on social media, I would say 95% of it is BS. So stop feeding your mind with lies, Denzel Washington has an amazing quote. He said, if you don't watch the news, you're misinformed. And if you watch them, if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. And if you do watch the news, you're misinformed. So I would say get rid of social media for a little bit. And how about you just go say hi?
Right. Yeah.
And for the ladies too, Nat was the one that shot the shot with me. Does it mean go tell all the guys that, hey, you smell good? No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't take me out of context. But there's nothing wrong with looking at resumes, guys. Here's what I mean by a resume. Hey, Yahaira, what are you doing, after church? Let's go grab a coffee.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's go grab coffee.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean we're going to get married, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just,
I feel like there's too much pressure on it right now.
it really is.
Like, we have the date to marry, obviously, but that doesn't mean the first person that you're going to date, you're going to marry,
Right.
Yeah. Or that doesn't always happen.
Dude, I see, and I we, hold on. Let me really think about how I want to say this. Okay. As of recent years, I have seen so many posts of people that I follow that, are getting married, and everyone's having a blast, and it's all these pictures, and it's the proposal, and it's the flowers in the park, and it's the candlelit sunset, will you marry me? And it's this whole thing to show social media, to get likes, and you're addicted to likes, and I'm going to have a wedding, but I want to have it better than so-and-so. and my avenue has to be more expensive than so and so's because, and it's like what people need to understand. What I hope you guys listening understand is that marriage is for a day. Oh, I'm sorry. The wedding is a day.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is for a lifetime, and a lot of y'all are investing more in your wedding than you will in your marriage.
That's a good one.
Y'all are pretty much emptying the bank account, dude. You guys are emptying the clip and probably maxing out a card or two to impress people that you haven't seen in the last 10 years, but you invited them because they're family.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, they better like the food. You know, Lord forbid, Tia Concha doesn't like what I served, so I have to pay chefs to make it all bougie.
Yeah, for real.
When, bro, my wedding's gonna have beans and rice and tacos, and if you don't like it,
That
don't
sounds
come.
amazing.
You know,
For real.
it's like I ain't here to impress you, bro. I'm. This is my day. I am marrying this person. We're gonna have a blast. We're gonna dance our butt off, and that's it. You know, my opinion.
No, it's true. Even for me, I think the other day I told my sister, I'm like, man, if I get married, I'm renting a dress because for what do I want to keep $1,000 dress hidden in a closet for years and years?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not to say that that's wrong because I love my mom's wedding dress, right?
Of
but
course.
I even told her, I was like, so what about it? You know?
Right.
There you go, and you have over 30 years of ups and downs, and I bet if you could take it back, you would do something else. And my mom's like, no, for real, I would. They wouldn't have wasted so much money
Mm-hmm.
on it, you know?
Right. It's free. Yeah. So stop. For you listening, please stop putting marriage and a wedding on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's one of the most important days of your life. Trust me, it ain't that deep. Because I hate to admit, but this is a real statistic, the divorce rate inside the church is the same as outside the church.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's 50%.
I've seen
And
it.
it's so sad. And because, again, y'all are chasing the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's get into that actually.
Yeah.
I was gonna say with that, when I started thinking more about dating and then actually using social media to just seek like kind of advice. Well, for one, I was disappointed because a lot of these people that are dating experts or whatever, they just want you to click their likes, subscribe, and then buy their book. And I was always like, oh my God, just tell me what you have to say. Just tell me.
Yeah. If you want to know these 5 things.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. So then I just started really like talking to myself with God, like, what do I want? And in the end, I said, I want a man that's going to stick by me through having a baby, through that baby going to school, through us maybe being evicted, through those things.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, I want someone that could stick it through in the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, that's what I'm looking for. Now, I'm not saying, like, I used to have standards. Used to say, like, I want him to have green eyes. I want him to be 10 and good looking. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm done with all that. Whatever I get, I get. But now it's more of, like, what I don't want is to later on regretting my decision.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of people now saying, like, man, I don't like who I married because I feel like I'm a single woman married. And I'm like, man, that's even scarier to feel alone, but you're married. And now you're dragging this guy along where I don't know if you guys seen a video of like this lady, she has 4 little girls on top of her. She's trying to eat and feeding them at the same time. They're crying in her ear. And then the guy's sitting next to her, like her husband, and he's eating like nothing.
Checked out.
And I'm like, I don't want that.
Yep.
So that's what I was going to say. As far as like now changing gears as far as dating, and I stopped seeking all this is the advice, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, no, this is what my prayer is. I want a man that's going to stick with me.
That's great.
He doesn't have to be this super minister, the super preacher. Man, I just want someone that's going to stick by me.
Yeah.
That maybe he'll be tempted, but he's going to stay right here, like with me.
Mm-hmm.
That he'll tell me, you know what, I did lust up after somebody. I'm like, all right, let's work on it
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, going back to the community piece. That's what you reminded me of, Yahaira. Thank you. It is important. Just because the oof. Ahí voy a pisar callos.
Dale, vato.
No.
So
Go for it.
please, you could turn it off now if you don't if you don't like what is about to be said. But I'm gonna say it. Just because the dude or the girl go into a church doesn't necessarily make them a Christian.
Oof.
Mhm.
Just how if I walk into my garage, I'm not a car, bro. You can attend church your entire life and be far from God.
Yes.
Mhm.
You can attend church your entire life and not have a relationship with Jesus. Always carry, your baggage from your past. You have to be very intentional to become the best version of you.
Yeah.
And whatever that entails. So, that being said, be careful who you take advice from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For those of you guys listening, and
That's
even
good.
if you guys can chime in, obviously. Just because they are in a leadership, I'm going to put the word leadership in quotation marks. Just because they're in a quote unquote leadership position does not make them the right source for you to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, there are bad leaders.
Yeah.
How do you know? You will know them by their fruits.
Exactly.
Jesus says in Matthew. So if I was y'all, and not just here, but in anything, judge whoever you're going to go to get advice from, judge by their fruit.
Yeah.
Judge by their fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to, I think, leave it there
That's good.
and say to the community, be careful who you go to with being vulnerable.
Yes.
Mhm.
Make sure it's a safe person. I forgot what other podcast I shared this on, but how do you know the person that you're going to is a safe person? They're not going to judge you.
Yeah.
They are going to empathize with you,
Mhm.
and they are going to walk with you
Yes.
in your pain, in your hurt, and they are going to do their best to help you overcome your situation.
Mhm.
They're not going to do it all for you because you got to grow your own muscle.
Yeah.
I can't go to the gym for you and expect you to get buff,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I'm going to help you through the process. But that's how you know.
Yeah.
If you went to someone and you immediately got judged, you immediately got disciplined, and you like that was their knee-jerk reaction to what you're telling them, that's probably not the right person for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably isn't the right person, period. Because we are human, and we do put people in positions that they shouldn't be in.
Mm-hmm.
Just because someone has a degree doesn't make them the one and only expert in that field, right?
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just be careful in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you find the right person, the right mentor, the right someone that will walk with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
great.
That's super important. Like, have discernment to who you get advice from, because I mean, like, you could also go the other way and, like, let's say you get advice from, I don't know, let's say I'm dealing with this problem right now, and I go and tell my best friend, or I go and tell like a very, very close friend, and now a lot of times your best friend can either do one or two things. And this is where you kind of have to have discernment on if it's good advice or not. One, they're going to validate everything you're going through, and they're going to be like, "Oh no, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, what that other person did was so wrong, and like poor you, and like obviously, discipleship is gonna hurt. Like there's no like, ay, que bonita, like, yeah, let me care for you, let me care for you. Like, yes, there is a role in that, and there's a place in that. But there is times where it's also gonna be like, like I didn't realize I was like that. Wow, like that hurt, but I need to do better in that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where it goes to like have discernment. It's like, okay, is this good advice? Is this advice that's gonna help me, like how you said, be known by my fruits? Or is this advice that's like, that sounds too much like it's like advice that I would hear from a movie, like or from like some random guy on the street who does motivational reels, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sergio said it perfectly. It's like we need to have discipleship, and like how you said, our leaders also need to be very, very much in and dwell in within the world, you know? And within the word, sorry. Within, I didn't mean to say the world, the word of God.
Well, you're not wrong. Like,
Uh-huh.
I actually agree with your statement in the right context. Let me explain. We are in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We're not of the world, but we're in the world. Why do I agree? Because how can my leader help me if he's never gone through it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to you for marriage advice, and according to you, your marriage is so doggone perfect that you never argue, how can you help me?
Mm-hmm.
If you've never, according to you,
Yeah.
which I know is not true,
Yeah.
you've never argued ever and everything's just so hunky-dory,
Yeah.
then you can't help me, bro.
That's
So to you, I agree. We are in the world, but we're not of it.
good.
Yep.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, but
All right. So I want to ask y'all this. Listener, she said, a lot of people say Christian standards are too high, quote unquote, too high.
here
Thoughts?
Hear me out, bro.
Here we go.
I was literally, me and Mikey were talking about this the other day. We're saying it's not that Christian standards are too high, bro. It's that we live in a society that has very low standards.
Mm.
You know, it's like she was saying, as a Christian, like what could be our standards? You know, like so many times it's like, I just want someone that to go on a coffee date with, to talk, to be vulnerable, to be honest. It's like, are those high standards? Like, are those standards that can't be met? You know? So I feel like when we talk about like Christian dating and everything, I think we all look at perfection in it. Because we all want that Christian standard of like, oh, well, God is perfect, then my marriage is going to be perfect. Then my dating relationship is going to be perfect. Then everything is going to be perfect. But no, man. Like you said, like we live in an imperfect world. Unfortunately, like how cool would it be that every time you dated someone, like the first date, you would automatically get married the second date? You know, that would be awesome. But unfortunately, we don't live in that. So I feel like Christian standards, I mean, like, what would you like characterize as Christian standards? Like maybe praying with each other, maybe someone that's trustful, loyal.
I don't think so. But I want to tie this. We're going to get back to that, okay? But I want to tie this into another question that was submitted because it's 2 in 1.
Okay.
So the first one is, they say Christians have too high of standards. What are your thoughts? That's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked, what are non-negotiables? Can they be different for everyone? So my answer to that is absolutely. Everybody has different non-negotiables. For example, if I were to be single again, my non-negotiable would be, you have to believe the same thing that I believe.
Yes, absolutely.
Like I wouldn't marry, disclaimer, this is not in a racist, this is not in an anti-religious,
Here we go.
this is not into to offend anybody. Like, y'all, please, like, that's not what I'm saying here.
Y'all can turn the volume down here.
This is, I believe Jesus is God.
Mhm.
I believe in the Holy Trinity. I believe that Jesus is also the Son of God. I believe that he died and resurrected on the third day. I believe that.
Yeah.
If you believe in Krishna, if you believe in Buddha, if you're out there, worshiping Muhammad or whatever, that is an immediate, you're not the one for me.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a non-negotiable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't care how fine you look.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you don't believe what I believe, I'm not even gonna entertain it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the high standard that I think someone outside that wants to date a Christian, because they know that right now conservatism is up on the rise, right? Like, and most of conservatives are Christians. I think that's the high standard that's probably talked about there.
Being referred to.
Because I recently went on a date with a guy, and he turned out to be a Seventh-day Adventist.
Oh.
Mm.
And he still wanted to continue, but I was just like, brother, we're not on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I heard.
I am so sorry. Like,
Yeah.
we can't, because he told me, he's like, I need you to come to church every Saturday. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, okay, but I won't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I won't.
Right.
To me, church is on Sundays, and it's at Vino West.
Yeah.
If you want to come, you're more than welcome to. But if not, we can't. We
Right.
can't keep going from here.
Absolutely.
And that ended it right there.
Yeah.
Right.
And later on, I was told by someone at work who's not Christian, she's Catholic. She's like, dude, your standards are way too high. What do you want? Like some perfect man?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I just want a guy that's going to sit right next to me in church.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That believes in God and believes that
listens
Jesus
to-
died, on the cross for everyone's sins.
yes.
Uh-huh.
I heard this quote one time in Spanish. It's like, si no es de Cristo, lo dejo en visto.
You
know? But I mean, it holds so much truth to it because,
Say it
man,
again.
si no es de Cristo, lo dejo en visto.
Eek. Wow.
And it's, wow, patal. But it's so true because, man, life is hard as
Yeah.
it is. It's like single, not single, married, unmarried, divorced, whatever you want to call it. Life is hard for everyone. So
I'm gonna translate that for my English speaking only friends.
yeah,
if it ain't from the Godhead, leave it on red.
exactly.
Yeah. Oof, that's
yes.
good. That's
And-
good.
And it holds so much truth because if my foundation is in Christ, if my foundation is believing that God is Lord, that when I go through troubles, I know that God is gonna be there for me, that my life is leaded to serving Christ and everything. Why would I want to be with someone who does not hold that same faith? Who does not whose their stronghold is not that? Who their stronghold maybe be like other things, worldly things. It's like, man, we're gonna end up crashing. It's like, for example, me that I work in the construction area. When you're building a building, it's like you want to have a firm foundation, right? And when you're building towers, sometimes you have to have like one foundation here, the other one over here, like separate from each other. But they both are strong enough equally to form one big tower.
Mm-hmm.
So now, let's put that into like a dating perspective. It's like if my faith is in God and this other person's faith is in the world, there are uneven balances. Like when we start building up that tower, it's not gonna hold. When that first hard thing comes, when like that gush of wind comes, it's gonna fall. So that's why like when you're building a tower, when you're building something, you want to have equal foundation on both sides. Because if it's not there, the first argument is gonna be, oh, we're arguing, we don't believe in the same things. I'm gonna go find someone else. I'm gonna cheat on you. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna lead you on and make you feel worthless. I'm gonna do all these things. So I feel like how you were saying, it's like, as a single person, I feel like as Christians, that should be our number one condition because even the Bible talks about it.
Yeah.
Being unequally yoked.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I've heard people be like, oh, well, I can change him. I can change her.
Brother.
There's a really big discrepancy with that.
Yeah.
There's people that are like, yes, you can't change him 100%. There's people that are like, oh, well, you can't, but there's a possibility. I'm like, I don't want to limit God to what he can or what he can't do in a person.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's like, I got to guard my heart.
Yeah.
If I feel called by the Lord. Because I look at the story of like the prophet that married a prostitute. That God told him to marry a prostitute.
Hosea,
Yeah, and he's like, go marry that prostitute. And he goes
in
obedient
obedience
to the Lord. And he marries a prostitute. She ends up going back to her other lovers. Then God tells her, hey, go and love her again.
Mhm.
And he goes back in obedience. So I feel like that's such an amazing thing that, hey, like God does change people, man.
Yep.
Mhm.
And God can change your boyfriend, your girlfriend.
Yeah.
God can do it. But at the same time, it's like you got to keep in accountability. This it's like, are you pulling them into God, or are they pulling you away from God?
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
And that has to be a very specific commandment
Mm-hmm.
from God.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like if God legit is standing right there at my doorstep and says, "This is a person that you're going to marry," you know,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be disobedient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Yes, sir." But you got to let her know too.
Mhm.
If it's really you,
Yeah.
you got to let her know so that when I step up, she's not acting crazy.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, she ain't tripping out on me like, "Who
Yeah.
are you?" You know? Like, so when Nat and I need to make a big decision, we pray on it together, but we also pray on it separately.
Mm.
And then I say, once I receive confirmation, because it's like, Holy Spirit, if it's from you, you're going to let both of us know,
Yes.
you know? And then we talk
Disagreements.
about it. And it's like, what did the Holy Spirit tell you? Did you already receive confirmation? Yes. What about you? Yes. Okay. What is it? Yeah. Or no,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
you know? So that's how we know. That's how that's our dynamic,
Yes.
is we got to know. We're not going to manipulate or push each other or hurry each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's Holy Spirit. If it's from you, you're going to tell both of us.
Yes.
Because when we get married, we're one.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to hurry you. You're not going to hurry me. Okay. So the unequally yoked thing. that is your play. In my opinion, and again, man, y'all are listening to us, dude. Like you don't have to take our
Yeah.
word as like, the gold
The
standard.
true
Yeah.
fact.
If you don't
Mhm.
agree, you have
Definitive.
all the right to disagree, dude. Like this is just our opinion. But in my opinion, in Art's opinion, you're playing with fire with the unequally yoked thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's Hosea, and he married a prostitute, and there's I think I could change him and stuff. Like, well, first of all, you can't change anybody,
Mm-hmm.
and if you
Uh-huh.
can, you're not gonna like what you're gonna end up with,
Yeah.
because that you're trying to play Jesus Jr. when you should have left it to the Holy Spirit,
Mhm.
Yes.
because
Amen.
only God can make them into the version. God's version of that person is better than your version of that person.
Yeah.
Oof.
Do you know what I mean?
That was good, man.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, man, she fine and she checks all the plagues, but there's one little thing. What? She's a devil worshiper.
Oof.
Oh,
Run away.
bro, you should see her. She fine, bro. Like,
I can change it, bro.
I could change, man. I could just bring her to Jesus, and you are welcome to do whatever you want to do.
Uh-huh.
But why would you play with fire?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like fire, what is fire? Fire provides heat.
Uh-huh.
Fire provides warmth in the right environment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In a fireplace that's designed to contain what it is.
Don't
In
bring
a
it out of the
stove,
fireplace.
right? But if I take that fire and drop it into my carpet here, we're gonna have an issue.
Yes.
The same thing that was supposed to provide warmth and comfort is now gonna kill me.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, you could, roll the dice, but knowing what you know, why would you even go there?
Yeah.
I mean, and the wrong person is going to use that as an excuse to look for people in all the wrong places.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And why would you even go there?
Yeah.
Again, if you want to, I'm nobody to stop you. It's your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
But, ask yourself is that what God would want you to do?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
You
and,
know?
and I think like one of the important like key points, like when people want to like talk about the unequally yoked stuff, they use the Hosea story,
Mhm.
a lot to like justify everything. But the key word in that whole story was obedience.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if, like you said, like if it's God actually telling you, hey, date this person, even though they do not go to church, because God can do it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we're
100%.
no one to limit God to what He can do,
100%.
or knowing that God can change people, or knowing that God can use you to bring someone to Him. But at the same time, when you look at the story, Hosea was obedient.
Mhm.
If God is telling you that's not the person, be obedient to it.
Mhm.
Don't be like, oh well, maybe. Or
Maybe
like,
if I date him for 6 months,
Yes.
then God is going to come through
Exactly.
and say
Yeah.
to start
Yeah.
dating that person.
Or I feel like so many people are like, no, well, like, I saw this meme like on an Instagram page, and I thought it was so true because it was saying like, God, if this person is not for me, give me a sign. And there was a sign written in English. It's not for you. and the person was like, "Oh, well, I can't read English," so they walk through the door, and it's like, it's so true because we want to be obedient to God, but to our pleasure.
Yeah.
Like if we think that this person is for us, even though they show all the red flags, even though that they don't follow God like we do, they don't believe in the same things that we do. Their lifestyle is completely different from ours. Their relationship, even when their family, is completely different. You know, we tend to be like, no, well, maybe if I give it a try, maybe if this things, and that's how we end up with broken people.
Yep.
You know,
Go for Mikey. I feel like you want to say something.
Well, I mean, just tying back to what you guys were saying, I was just reading on where it says in the Bible, just in case anybody wanted to, like fact check. Like one of the principal references, like you were talking about Hosea,
yeah,
and like how people use that to justify their relationship, but more often than not, it should be what Abraham was doing when he was trying to look for a wife for Isaac, which is basically here when it says in Genesis 24, Abraham was now getting old in his years, and the Lord had blessed him with everything. But Abraham had said to his servant, elder of his household, who managed everything he owned, place your hand under my thigh, and I will swear by the Lord, God of heaven and God of earth, that you will not take a wife from my son from the daughters of the Canaanites who I live. But you will go to my land. You will go to my land and my family to take a wife from my son Isaac. So basically what he was saying was how you guys were basically tying up, look from someone who has your, core beliefs.
Values.
As core values, yes. Like, I think you said a perfect example of like the Seventh-day Adventist and you being a non-denominational, like that. Yeah.
like we're not bashing any religions, just to put it out there. Like,
Yeah, this is
we're not bashing anyone.
Yeah, like go and marry from your tribe, like that. Go look from someone who has that,
Yeah, it's, I believe that God created the heavens and the earth. I believe that he created the universe.
Yes.
I'm not gonna date somebody that believes that we came from monkeys.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that there is no God. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And again, guys, don't take this out of context. We're not saying, oh, you Christians, y'all have these high standards. It's like, no, we're just...
I think that's just what we would call, now to answer that question, the one non-negotiable. I think that's like the number one. After that, I think it's just a personal preference.
Yeah,
exactly. So here's how I'm going to put it, all right? As the happily married man, I like listening to Dave Ramsey.
Nice.
If y'all don't listen, I would highly recommend.
Yes.
He says that there's 4 things every couple should agree on before getting married, and you will avoid a disaster. Kids, money, religion, and in-laws.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In-laws.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You have to agree on these things. So to answer the non-negotiable, are there non-negotiable? There is 1,000% non-negotiables. I could name 100 non-negotiables for me. Oh, she's beautiful, but she smokes cigarettes. Guess what? I ain't into that. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, she does heroin. I'm cool, go for it, but that ain't me.
Yeah.
Someone had a non-negotiable. They can't see. The tattoo.
Okay.
For me, it ruined the chance with somebody.
Okay.
Because that was his and I was like, you know what? I respect it.
That's fine.
Right? I'm not for everybody.
Yes, I was gonna say that, guys.
Wow.
Don't allow. Okay, here's the thing, single people, all of you listening. Your value is not determined by what someone else rejected. Your value is who you are to God.
So good, man.
Yeah.
Your identity is in Christ, period. You are God's daughter. You are God's son. If you truly have a relationship with him and you're being intentional about becoming the best version of you. Who someone else rejects in the world, that, look at it like this. They saved you a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of heartache, because they made it easy for you to say, I ain't it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did the work for you.
Yeah.
So that's how I would see it. So agreeing to kids. What does your outlook look like on kids? That one is a little bit wonky because you can agree day one, but 10 years pass and people change.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you change your views on kids. And now one, maybe you didn't want to have kids and now you do. Or maybe you didn't, or not. First you did want to and then now you don't. So that's a little bit, but as long as you're on the same page for the most part, that's very wise.
Yeah.
Money is super huge.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Are you the spender or are you the saver? There's almost one and one.
Yeah.
Hardly two savers, hardly two spenders. If it's two spenders, holy moly, that's a
Oh my gosh.
that's a disaster waiting to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
But just to be agreeing on money, that's super huge. Religion, we just talked about that.
Yeah.
It's not that Christians think that they're better than
Yeah.
everyone else, guys. Do not take this out of context. It's simply just there. There's. You're not gonna convince me to believe what you believe,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not gonna try to convince you because that's not even my job anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's do we believe the same things together? Perfect. Are we in the same branch of
Uh-huh.
Christianity? Because
There's-
even inside Christians,
Mhm.
there's
Yeah.
There's
all these
Christians.
branches. There's a Seventh Day.
Uh-huh.
There's a Pentecostal. There's a Calvinist.
Catholics.
There's a Catholics. All that, that blah 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 blah. So, and why is it important? Because when kids come, if kids come, and when kids come, what are you going to teach them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to teach them, Jesus is God, and then your wife or your husband behind your back is like, nah, man, Jesus ain't God. Jesus was just a prophet.
Yeah.
Like what?
Mhm.
You're confusing the
Exactly.
kids.
And then y'all are having heated discussions on who's teaching what to the child.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a
Mhm.
non-negotiable.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's why it's a standard. And yes, they can be and are different for everybody. In-laws, oof.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Haven't gone
Thank
to
the
that
Lord.
yet.
we that could be an entire other episode.
Right.
Yes.
But in-laws just agree, with everything. If you want a happy marriage, and this is just, true and tried advice,
Yeah.
you put your spouse first
Yes.
above everybody.
Yes. 100%.
Are y'all ready for this? Including your
Your
kids.
kids, yeah.
Damn.
Your kids leave after 18, 20 years, whatever. Your spouse is forever.
Mhm.
Your
Mhm.
spouse is number one. Your mom does not get to speak to her in a disrespectful tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your father-in-law, doesn't get to minimize you every chance he gets. Your
Mhm.
spouse is always first. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Yeah, that's good. That's important.
All right. So, what else, guys?
I think
Anything on that from
Um,
anybody?
I think you answered it perfectly, but I don't know. You too?
no, that was
No.
I loved it, man.
Yeah.
That was great.
I think we could go on and on about that
Yeah.
because I have so many anecdotes from a personal
Yeah.
because I actually have a huge testimony that could in and of itself be another hour long. But I used to be in a same-sex relationship. And even in that it had its own struggles.
Mm.
But I would have to say in-laws is a huge one
Mm.
that is a huge fight.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're with somebody that you said you were going to commit yourself to.
Right.
And I'd have to say, if you don't have that said already, even when you're dating, of like, hey, whatever we say stays with us. You don't go off with somebody else, because then me and you, once we're good, then my mom or dad are going to look at you differently.
Yeah.
And you can't
Mhm.
do that to your spouse.
Yeah.
You like legit can't. But anyway, that's all I want to say, because
That's
I could
good,
go.
man.
I can
That's
go on
good.
and on
That
about
is
that.
gold, Yahaira. That
Yeah,
is
that's
gold,
good.
bro.
Just dropping facts.
And
on
thank
it.
you for your vulnerability and for your
Uh-huh.
honesty. Thank you for that.
Well, I mean, I've gotten to a point where now I love to use my testimony to help those that are lost to not feel, even moms and dads, because honestly, I've been reached more by moms and dads that are like, my kid is struggling with this.
Yeah.
How did you come back? You
Mm.
know,
That's
so like I
awesome.
said, it's a whole nother
Right.
like that's a
Yeah.
whole
That's
nother
awesome, man.
conversation. But
No, I love
Invite
it.
her back.
No, thank you for that. That is like so underrated. Someone being honest like that, and
Uh-huh.
vulnerable. But your bravery, dude, in just saying that helped so many people already.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
100%.
So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Another question. I just want to make sure I really get to all of y'all's thing.
These are fun.
They're pretty far questions, man.
Yeah,
honestly, they're really good.
Thank you guys for those of you that submitted them.
Yeah.
Okay, this person said, when you quote air quotes don't feel peace, is it really because it's not God's will, or could it just be fear?
Oof.
I think
that's difficult.
I think it could be a mix of both.
Yes and yes.
You know, because like we've talked about, you know, like there's always like shame, guilt, past experiences that you have, or even something like you see your parents' relationships, you know, and I feel like a lot of people, well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but like me seeing my parents have such an amazing relationship that I see them and I'm like, damn, bro, like they really went through everything, you know.
Mhm.
Like my parents immigrating from another country at 17, 18 years old, from having me and my older sister at 20 years old, from like literally living alone, like in a little tiny apartment with 4 kids, 2 bedrooms, 4 kids, and then like my dad going out of town to work and all that stuff, to like what they are right now, like everything they've built together. And I see it and I'm like, man, that's such a like an amazing story that I want that for my relationship. And I would used to like set that as my standard of relationships, but then I come with my relationships and I mess them up. You know? So it's like it does create a fear, man. Like even though you're the one that like messed up a relationship, even you're the one that like ruined it, it still brings such a fear. And like saying like, I don't want to say am I worthy, but it's like, will I be able to like feel something for someone again?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I feel like a lot of times it can also be like that fear, like that not feeling peace, because God is a God of peace, first and foremost, right? We want to make that clear. God does not bring confusion. God always brings clarity.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like dating relationships and everything, when you start dating someone and you start feeling like, oh, like, is this the one? Is this, could it be, am I going to go back to the same things? I think so many times it could be sort of a trauma response, you know, where you're like, man, like I saw my parents in a messed up marriage, or I was cheated by my ex-boyfriend, or like my ex-girlfriend was toxic, stuff like this. And you're scared of that to happening, that in a certain way you start self-sabotaging yourself, you know? And so many times all it takes is that leap of faith. You know, and honestly, praying about it, asking God about it, asking for guidance for leaders, and saying like, hey, like I'm starting this relationship, but I kind of want to know, like, what do you guys think? Is this something I should be going for right now?
That's good.
Is this something that's gonna benefit me in the long run? Is it just me being scared? Should I give it a try? Should I do this? Because our hearts are deceitful, man.
Yeah.
You know, like our hearts,
above all things.
Exactly. Like our hearts want so many things. Our heart wants to be not feel alone. Then we end up settling for like the lowest things. You know? And so I feel like if you're someone like going through that you're like, it's because I don't know if it's this is not from God. If it's not from God, you're gonna see it. I feel like 100% you're gonna see it. Since the beginning that it starts, you're gonna see it, you're gonna know it, you're gonna feel it. People are gonna tell you that, hey, like maybe this is something that you shouldn't be on. So I would honestly say like it's a mix of both, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I think being scared of a relationship, it's totally fine, because like you're human more than anything. You're not gonna get it right the first time. You're not gonna get it right the second time. Third time is definitely not the charm. But if you put it in God's will, in God's hands, and I know it's easier said than done. I know as Christians we love to say put it in God's hands, but man, that's hard.
It is. It's not easy.
It's not easy to put it in God's hands. Not even just speaking of relationships. Anything, it's hard, because in your mind you want to have that peace. You want to have that like, no, this is gonna work out. This isn't. But then how can you put something in God's hands that hasn't even happened yet? You know what I mean?
And think about it, man. Oh, go for it, Mikey.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, in 2025, we, and I'm including myself, we are weak Christians.
Yeah.
Because we're over here talking about a relationship. Oh, it's so hard to give this to God. When Abraham was asked for his only son.
Exactly, man.
And he went and was ready the next day.
Yeah. He prepared everything.
We're over here talking about a relationship. Man, Lord, this is so hard. Would you give your kid? Bro, your kid, that, by the way, For 25 years you prayed and prayed. Well, for longer than that, but and then after it was promised to you, he was promised to you, you still waited 25 years, you finally have the desire of your heart, and give him to me back.
Yeah.
Sacrifice him. So let's keep
By the way,
it.
he doesn't die. Like, spoilers.
Yeah, by the way, y'all need to read Genesis 20, 21, 22, 23.
Yeah. Great book.
But let's keep it real though, man.
Yeah.
Let's keep it. Let's keep things in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really that hard? So yeah, dude. Like, I think there's nothing wrong, guys. I don't want to be misinterpreted or misunderstood. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
That is absolutely natural. It's in our DNA, literally. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be in a relationship and eventually get married. Just don't cross the line.
Yes.
What is crossing the line? When now you're literally idolizing it.
Yeah.
It is on a platform.
That's good.
It is the one and only thing you think about. It is, above and beyond everything. Oh my gosh, I just want to get married. And like, when you're jealous, low key, I know those words, bro. When you're low key jealous of people getting, married, and you're seeing people on your feed or whatever, or even you were invited to the wedding and you're secretly kind of like, man, I wish that was me. Check your heart, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure.
You should be at your friend's wedding genuinely happy for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without, oh my gosh, when is that gonna be me? Like, check your heart. I'm just saying, man. Check your heart.
Yeah.
So, did you have something to say?
Well, I was just gonna point out that, yeah, there's nothing wrong with when wanting it, and then also, if you're that friend telling your other friend, like, girl, just stop, like, stop being so desperate. Like, it's not a desperation. It's just something that honestly, it's just biological. As a 34-year-old, kind of being told like, hey, after 35, it's called a geriatric pregnancy, and who wants to be labeled as that? Like, right. So I just wanted to point that out, that it's okay, and if you bring it out, bring it out.
Yeah.
Because to me, I found, now that I've joined Vino, there's nothing better than just to come out and say what's in your heart.
Yeah.
Because more than likely someone's there to help you with it.
Yeah.
I found so many great ladies at Vino that I never thought I did, because before that I had lived with so much shame, so much guilt from my own past, from the whole same-sex thing, and even before then I remember thinking like, this is never gonna happen for me because I sinned. Like, I just kept putting that on me, like, no man's ever gonna want me because of my dirty past. Like, I'm never gonna get married because this, because that. So I just started having that until finally I just let it out, and I let it out in that little group at Vino, at Plus, and I remember feeling like a weight lifted.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if someone that's listening and maybe they feel like, well, I don't want to say it because I don't want to be labeled as desperate, girl, just say it. Boy, just say it, because maybe that's what you just need. You just need to let it out, breathe, and then make a plan. And that plan should just be your own person. Walk with God, because you don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
And maybe you do need to be ready, because whoever's coming is going to show you something different, and you have to be ready.
100%.
Yeah.
I would like to add, yes, let it out to the safe place.
Oh, yeah, safe.
Yeah.
To the safe person, to the right audience.
Don't let it out to Mr. Cheese Mozart.
Right.
Oh, right. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, if you have a circle of friends and you're about and you're trying to make a decision for your life, and the first thought in your life is, oh my gosh, what is my circle going to think? I think you're in the wrong circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it, bro.
No, dang, that was good. But no, yeah, just to like tie it all up what they were saying about the whole question. Basically, if there isn't peace, or what was the question again? Can you rephrase it just so I could answer it?
When you don't, air quotes, don't feel peace, is it really because it's not God's will, or could it just be fear?
I think like how these two were saying, basically just discern where it comes from. Does it come from? Does the peace come from within? Is it a trauma response? Is it something from your past that you haven't let go of? Then that means it's that's a you thing, and you gotta submit it to God, and you gotta um, you know, just like let it out. Because if you don't, it's gonna, like how you said, it's gonna go back into your relationship. It's gonna be brought into something else. Someone else is gonna have to deal with it, not just you. So yeah.
Yes.
If it or it could be them. Like it's either or. Just really discern whether that piece comes from within or from like something else.
Yes. I would answer yes and yes. Because context matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you, to your point, Mikey, if you were raised in trauma, if you experienced some kind of trauma, if you were raped, if you were sexually abused as a child, your not feeling peace could be nothing to do with God. It's just your body telling you, trying to protect you
Yeah.
from what 3-4-year-old you experienced. So that could be real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, yes, it could also not be God's will.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where context matters. We don't have a blanket answer for you. It's know your situation and really be curious about where that's coming from.
Yeah.
Because both things can be true.
Mm-hmm.
If you're seeking God's confirmation and you're truly, you're fasting, you're praying on it, and God's not giving you that confirmation, it's probably not him. Here's why I know. Nat and I, we did go through an 18-month separation when we were considering getting back together. We were 20, 21 years old. When we separated, and then she was like, hey, and then I, this is after I accept Christ, and then we start talking about getting back together. And then she's coming to church with me now, arms folded, scowl and everything, like she's mad, that she's there. I'm like, God, is this her, bro? Like, for reals? It doesn't look like it right now, but she's the mother of my kids. So, and I told God, I was like, Lord, even though she's the mom of my kids, doesn't necessarily mean she's the wife for me.
Yeah.
Because you could have someone else for me. Who knows, So I was like, Lord, if she's for me, if this is the woman you want me to marry, give me a crystal clear sign. And I was like, Lord, you know me, and I don't want to interpret it's because I walked out and a yellow butterfly came. Oh, there's my sign.
Oh my gosh.
There it is right there. Like, no, like I need a crystal clear answer, Lord. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, like, Lord, because at the end of the day, I didn't want to marry the wrong woman. I didn't want to marry someone God didn't want me to marry. So I was like, Lord, please, please, please. So I prayed that for a while, several months, as we were talking about getting back together. We go to this marriage thing, and the last pastor to preach, it was like I was the only one in the room. It was almost like someone told him all my rollos, and he was pointing right at me, almost. And what he said, I can't even quote you what he said anymore, but I knew that was God's confirmation.
Yeah.
I knew it. And I knew it, guys, so crystal clearly that on the drive home, I told her, we're getting married.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I didn't propose. I didn't now I wish I would have, I would have done, now you see everybody doing it all romantically and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, we're getting married. And she was like, okay, This was like on a Saturday or a Sunday. And that Friday, we went to the court, and for $80, we got married.
Nice.
That's awesome.
But so when and this is going to sound so cliche, and a lot of y'all singles are going to hate me for it, but it's the truth. When you know.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, we're running out of time, so I want to kind of go through these a little bit.
Speedrun them.
What is the role of a boyfriend in a relationship? many want to quote unquote lead while dating. Is that bad? Again, context matters. If he's trying to lead you after he only took you for Starbucks and you're on date number 2, yes, it's bad.
Yeah.
If y'all have been dating for 5 years, I would say, bro, either you put a ring on it or he ain't the one.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
Preach.
Because what are you waiting for, bro?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
That's not a leader.
that ain't a leader, you know?
Mhm.
So context matters.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
it
sure.
does.
You know, if you, and you have to know the guy, you right?
Yes.
Like if he's a true man of God, if he's truly, you know, only actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
What you do speaks so loud I can't hear what you
Mhm.
say. So you have to watch him, you have to get to know him, you have to spend time with him, not physically, not, you know, not being
Right.
intimate.
Mhm.
Please,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, abstain. But get to know their heart, get to know see how they treat other people,
Yeah.
see how they treat their parents, see how they treat
Yeah.
the janitor, see how they treat, you know, do they see where their heart is at,
Mhm.
and get to know them from that perspective. And if you and y'all have been now dating several months, you're going on a year or whatever, and you know you guys are feeling really good about each other. If you want to lead me, bro, put a ring on it,
Yeah.
because you can't lead what technically isn't even yours.
Mhm.
Mm.
Exactly.
You know,
That was good.
you really can't. So that's just my thought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What are y'all thinking?
No, you're right on it.
Okay.
And I
Yeah,
think,
man, like-
I think for the on like my
Yeah.
perspective as a female, I think would only say like for the guys is if like yeah we do want the leader, but we also kind of want to see it like as you're dating. Like, are you the one that's gonna pick up the check? Are you the one that's gonna tell me, hey, on Friday at 8 p.m. we're gonna go to Tippy T's or whatever? Then do that, you know. That's how you show a woman, oh man, like this guy's serious. He
Yeah.
does want to lead me. Where versus a guy that's just like, well, when are you free? And then,
Yeah.
what about this day? And oh, do you like this? Do you like no? Like, guy, just do it already. You know,
Yeah.
just tell me.
I would encourage you guys to listen to a song called "Lead Me." Oh my gosh, it's such a song, dude. I was bawling like, well, I mean, all of y'all know me as a crybaby, right? But, yeah, "Lead Me" by. Hold on.
By who?
Let me see real quick. Lead me with strong.
I thought it was gonna be
hands.
"Lead Me to the Cross." I was like, wow.
That one's too.
Stand. Oh, by Sanctus Real.
Mm.
Okay.
Lead me with strong hands. Yeah, dude, that oof, it'll. Okay, now I just remembered that she actually added some context to that.
Okay.
So I asked, where is it?
We love context.
It's important.
Oh, I was like, I was like, hey friend, we need help on this one. What does he want to lead exactly? How long has his relationship been going on? I need examples for a better understanding and a better answer.
Mhm.
See, context.
Nice.
And she said, the relationship. I was actually told this in my most recent relationship. He wanted me to trust him to lead our relationship. In my case, things were moving really fast, and we had been seeing each other for a little over a month. Red flag, I know. Crying emoji.
Oh.
This was also coming from a man who was not planting roots in a church.
Oh,
Oh.
come on.
Okay.
However, I do believe that there is a little bit of confusion on our roles in a dating relationship. Men are supposed to lead as husbands and women are supposed to submit as wives.
Yes.
But what's the difference in a dating relationship? Well,
There's the difference.
Lady friend.
Right there.
lady friend, I would tell you this: you wouldn't cash out your 401k to paint and decorate and deck out a house that you're renting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That blew
That's
my
good. That's a great example.
Damn. That's good, man.
It ain't
That's
yours.
so good.
No, yeah.
If it ain't your house, why would you invest in it?
Exactly.
Why would you put turf and a pool and a jacuzzi
On a rental.
on a rental?
Mm-hmm.
There's no commitment there.
Yeah.
So you have no responsibility to submit,
Uh-huh.
especially over a month, especially if this dude wasn't even planting roots in a
Mhm.
church.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't know what leadership looks like.
No.
Mm.
Because true leadership was shown by Jesus.
Yes.
And Jesus said that if you want to be the greatest, you have to be the lowest.
Yeah.
True leadership
Be a
is servant leadership.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How can I serve you?
Yeah.
You know, you lead by example.
Yes.
So this, in my opinion, lady friend, he has no idea what he's talking about. In my opinion, he's just trying to be macho.
She dodged the bullet.
Yeah, she dodged a bullet, truly. So thank Jesus for that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, do y'all have anything to add on that?
Yeah.
No,
No, you
Go
hit
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to add real quick. Like when you talk about leadership and all that stuff in the Bible in Ephesians, it's Ephesians 5 where it talks about the role of the husband. Keep in mind it says husband, not boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
An important distinction.
to be fair, dating is not even in the Bible.
Yep.
Dating is such a like new term that we've come up with that we want to talk it as having I want to say having more benefits than just being friends, but we're also trying to figure out if this is going to be what marriage wants. No. As a boyfriend, you can lead. I believe you can lead as a boyfriend, but in a spiritual way. Like leading into prayer, planning dates, being
Right,
firm
yeah.
on your dates,
Yeah.
being firm on establishing boundaries. Like, hey, after 11, we're not going to text anymore because, hormones and stuff, right? It's like, we're not going to be alone I love the example you use at church, behind the parking lot at Cinemark. Like, we're not going to be doing that
Yep.
because in Ephesians 5, it's giving authority to a husband, not a boyfriend. So you want to lead, but not lead in the authority given to a husband that you don't want to put you cannot talk to anyone else.
Yeah.
You cannot do this.
Uh-huh.
That's not leading, bro. That's just being toxic. Like you said, you're basically having authority over something that's not even yours.
Uh-huh.
Because you don't. If you want to have that kind of authority, if you want to have that kind of leadership, put a ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
Even Apostle Paul said it. You don't want to burn yourself, get married. So I would say as like leadership as a boyfriend, you can do it in a spiritual way, and in a non-husband way.
Mm-hmm.
Like meaning like there's certain things you can do and certain things you can't do.
What I'm hearing is lead with your actions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Live with the fruits of the spirit.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, you cannot, dude. I'm gonna talk just to the dudes. Don't try to lead her. Number one, if you have no commitment,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and number two, if you can't even lead yourself.
Exactly.
How about you work on leading yourself first,
Exactly.
and by everything that my boy Sergio just talked about.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah. Let's do
Yeah,
it
that's
like
a
that.
good one.
That's good.
So next.
All right, let me see. Da-da-dum. Okay, a buddy said, I have a few thoughts. I think it would be good to distinguish the difference between dating for the purposes of marriage versus you will marry the person you date. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I think it's good to distinguish the difference between dating for the purpose of marriage versus marry the person you date.
So it's like a statement.
Right. So, you and I go get coffee. Boom. I'm going to propose to you in 3 weeks.
That's not happening.
Because we just dated.
Oh my gosh.
Like, no, bro. Yes, I'm
Chillax.
dating with intent. I'm dating with intent. There is an end goal. I do have a longing to get married. But it doesn't mean that just because we're dating, like, you're the one.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm getting to know you,
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm getting to know you, I am not going to kiss you.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
Yes. Boundaries are important.
Ladies, if you
Super.
can't if you have you should have boundaries.
Yes.
Both of
Yeah.
y'all should have boundaries.
Yeah.
And if you say, "Hey, I'm not kissing you until like we're like official," and he's trying to get,
Touchy.
sneaky with you, girl, he's not respecting your boundaries.
right.
And so going
For
back to
sure.
the leading, he can't even lead his hands, bro. So
Mhm.
why would you? You know what I mean?
It's a good way to weed them out.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great filter.
Yeah.
Respect my boundaries, right? Do-do-do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Date someone who wants to be married but is content with their singleness.
Yeah.
100%. I could not agree
Yeah,
more.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Bec-
important.
Because this person, not the person that sent the message, but the person who wants to get married but is content with being single,
Yes.
not satisfied with being single, content with being single,
Yeah.
is like, hey man, would I love to get married? For sure. But am I cool? I'm cool
Yeah.
There's no rush.
because I know who I am.
Yeah.
I know whose I am.
Yes.
I don't need someone else to define me.
Mhm.
Right.
Because then you give all the power to that person to define you. Who are you without them?
Wow.
Can you be friends with your can you be friends with an ex?
Mhm.
I'm scared I'll become jealous when they start a new relationship.
Can you be
Oof.
friends with an ex?
90. I would. Okay,
I would
here's
say
here's my thoughts, man.
go for it.
It's gonna take an insane amount of maturity
And time.
for that to happen,
Yeah.
and time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time.
For example, God forbid, Nat and I, for example, were to split. I would want to be friends with her because she's the mother of my children.
Yeah.
And we're gonna we have something in common for the rest of our life.
Right.
Why would I want her as an enemy?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yes, I would want to be her friend, and in good terms.
Yeah.
Can you well, I can't say most. Do a lot of people justify we're just friends so I can stay in your life and be in touch when I secretly still want you?
Yeah, they do.
That is not good, bro.
Yeah.
That is not good.
That's manipulating.
So 9 times out of 10, I would say the answer is no, you can't. It would take an insane amount of maturity.
Yeah.
An insane amount of maturity. I'm not going to use a blanket statement of always or never, but it's going to take an insane amount of maturity to where if they were to walk right in front of you holding hands with someone else, would you be tripping? And if the answer is yes, then you already know.
Yeah. I feel like there's this saying in Spanish that's like, where there was a fire, there's still ashes. You know what I mean? So it's like, you break up with someone for the reasons, whatever reason it is. You know, I heard someone say it like this. They say, treat it like a death. Not in the way that this person is dead to me, but in the way of like the relationship, what we had, as good as it may have been, there was a reason why we broke up, and we're gonna stick to it. So you cannot revive with that person. So it's like we're gonna let it die, you know. And man, it's for the good. Maybe God can obviously bring back people together, but if it's not God's will to bring you guys back together, then just let it be. Can you be friends with your ex? Like how you said, it would require an insane amount of maturity because. It's like how you said, like,
by the way.
Yeah, would you be okay with them dating someone else?
Yeah.
And it's like, if I know we had a past, there's always that door open, man. Like if we broke up, that's it. You deal your stuff with the Lord, I'll deal my stuff with the Lord. If the Lord decides to cross our paths again, let it be. It's gonna be in the Lord's time. Then we know it's from the Lord. And if not, I love to say this, and I've told Mikey this a lot of times. I'm like, dude, I see it like this. God had this person before me. God had this person with me. And God is going to have this person after me. The same way God had me before this person. God had me with this person. And God's going to have me after this person. Don't trip about it, man.
Yeah.
It's just like, don't trip about it.
They're the Lord's first. You know?
Yeah. Remember, like, they belong to the Lord. You belong to the Lord. You'll be fine without being friends. You'll be fine being friends. It's going to require an insane amount of maturity, like you said. But if not, it's fine. Like you know that your happiness does not depend if you see this person with another person. Your happiness and your fulfillment only comes from one person, and that person is never going to fail you. This person could have failed you, and you may have put all your emotion, your time, your money, you invested so much in this person, and now you feel like, man, like I kind of want to be friends with them so I can kind of feel that, so I don't feel lonely. Man, sometimes it's good to be alone, to be encountered by God.
100%.
Yeah.
A wise spouse is not friends with an ex, guys.
Yep.
Period. Dot.
Man, say a lot, bro.
Why would you even?
I think it's awkward to do at that point once you're married.
Yeah, like once you're married, dude.
Yeah, that's it.
If you're married and you have no children in common with your ex,
why
do yourself a favor and forget that person. Like delete them from
everything.
Yeah, like
it's not fair to your spouse.
You have to respect the
yeah, dude. Like, why would you be friends? Oh, it's because we just be on social media. We follow each other.
Hell no,
dude.
No, that's not a thing. I think from both men and women.
Men and women, yes.
But I will say my experience with the whole friends with ex things. I think mine is just a little tad different. It's like because of the same sex thing. But I was friends with an ex. But it took like 8 years for like us not talking and anything. And the only reason that we ended up talking again was because we had mutual friends. And she actually wanted to offer me a job, a better job, because she had heard from my other friend that I wasn't doing well. And that was it. And after that, the conversations were, hey, did you get the job? Hey, are you okay? But both me and her, we wouldn't go past that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was married at the time, and I remember I would show my spouse, like, hey, look, this is what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And then she would even tell me, like, well, why do you need to talk to her? I was like, why don't? And then I dropped it.
And that's it. Yeah.
No more.
Well played.
And I think that's what's important there. Like, the
Yeah.
communication is there. If there is maybe a reason why you have to talk to, but if at that point, maybe if I still had feelings, I probably wouldn't have said anything. I probably would have blocked the number, been like, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm married, you know?
Yeah.
And now looking into it now with me intending to marry a man, oh, for sure, like, that's just gonna be, like, I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
go there.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Good stuff, man. All right. Last one.
Oh, this is gonna be the last one.
This is the last one because we're running out of time.
Let's do it, man.
I said that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
She said, and another thing, can you talk about how the church sees single people? I believe marriage has been made as a goal we're supposed to reach. And many times, people who fear the Lord, dedicate time to serving, have fruit of the Spirit, etc., are overlooked simply because they are not married.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before I give what I think, I want to hear y'all's opinion.
So I was actually talking about this with Sergio the other day. That's kind of where our mindset has to change, and we also have to, like, this is gonna be such a cliche answer, but it's the truth, and we have to view singleness as a gift. Like, it's so, like, whether it's like we're in the very early stages in our life or in our very, like, later stages in our life, like, we have to view it as a gift. Because and I don't know, like, it's a difficult thing to say like that sometimes. Like, I get what they're saying. How it's like, oh, well, it's because in the church there's so many married people and I'm just, like, the only one that's single, and, like, I'm not seen the same way as my friends who are married, or, like, like, or maybe if we go a little bit more, I feel like maybe this person doesn't feel desired in that sense as well. But that comes back to where when you are single, you get to, like how Sergio was saying, you get to spend more time with your community. You get to spend more time doing the things you love doing. And most importantly, you get to spend a lot more time with the Lord, and finding yourself in the Lord,
Yeah.
This, like, I know that might not be the answer that people are looking for, but
Well, it's because we're not answering what people are looking
it's just
for.
a thought.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Like, what does Mike think about it? That's the question.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly that.
View singleness as a gift.
Yeah, viewing as a gift, and there's some, like, for example, there's some people who are single and they were called to do great things.
Yeah.
The Apostle Paul, he was single all of his life. Jesus was never married.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, don't ever view it as, like, something less than a gift.
Yeah. I think, like, for me, almost exactly what Mike said. I don't think you need to be married to reach purpose. I think single people may be overlooked at the church because they're like, oh, well, you're not married. What's wrong with you? People your age are married. Like, why aren't you seeing anybody? And then it comes to a point where they're like, hey, I have somebody for you, stuff like that. And to me, it's like, dude, like, stop. Like, no, thank you. Not because I don't want to, because it's the same thing. It's like, I don't view my singleness as a time of desperation. I view my singleness as a season that I know it's going to end. I have faith that it's going to end. That sounded so cheesy, bro, but it's the truth. It's like, in my mind, it's like, I know I have the desire to be married. I know I have the desire to have family one day, but I know that I've messed up on stuff, but at the same time, I'm not going to put shame on myself anymore, and it's important. It's like, don't put shame on yourself just because you're single. Don't put shame on yourself just because you had bad past experiences, man. Put, like, a name on it, and Jesus already gave it a name. God is restoring you, man. God is refining who you are as a person. Don't see singleness as a bad trait that you have that, oh, just because I'm single, I cannot do this in church. Like Mikey said, man, great people that are single have done great things. I've met people that are so full of the Spirit, people that prophesy, people that when they lead worship, the Holy Spirit just flows in the room insanely, and they're not married, man. And that's what's coming to the point. You don't need to be married to find purpose, because your purpose has already been given to you by God. Your fulfillment is already given by God. It's like it's in Psalms, it says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. See this season as a gift of delighting yourself in God, finding yourself in God, finding your identity not in a person, not in your past relationships, not in past experiences, not in the relationships of others. Because I feel like as Christians, we become guilty of doing that, comparing our single season as, oh, well, this person was single for like 2 months and they found their wife at a conference. Why can't I do that? It's like, no, man. Like, everyone goes through a process. Enjoy the process. Embrace the process. Like how you said, don't be satisfied with singleness, but be content in it. Be content that you have everything. It's like in Psalms 23, it says, the Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. Nothing, man. And I love that verse, because it's like, if the Lord is my shepherd, I know that right now I have everything I need. I have a family that loves me. I have a job. I have health. I have a group of friends that love me. I have a church that loves me. And I found that such a stronghold in it. It's like, yes, the church can hurt. The church can hurt you when you're single by telling you, hey, something's wrong with you. Man, you're not hurt by God. God tells you that you have purpose. God tells you that you have fulfillment. God tells you that you have identity. So it's like, if you're single right now, man, enjoy it. Because singleness only happens one time. It's gonna end. It's gonna end. I do believe that the Lord has someone, and I know that in the meantime I can control my attitude by not feeling hurt by being overlooked, but by actually enjoying and saying, man, Lord, this time that I have, I want to give it to serve you. I want to give it to know you. I want to give it to serve others. Because it's like how I talked in the beginning, Adam was serving, Jacob was serving. The servants, when they looked for Isaac's wife, they were serving their master. Everyone serves, man.
Yeah.
And I love it how Mike said it in one preaching. He said, like, you want a big field of blessings, but you're not willing to work a big field. You're only willing to work a small field, man. So I would say, like, if you're feeling overlooked, give it to the Lord.
Yeah.
Like, tell the Lord, hey, Lord, I'm feeling overlooked at the church. I'm feeling out of place. And you'll see, like, when you give it to God, God lifts that weight, and he doesn't give you identity on other people. He gives you the identity he gave you on the cross, man.
That's so good.
So I feel like my advice would be that it's like, see it as a gift, like Mikey said, but also don't put your identity on anyone else. Because you already have an identity on God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What you think?
Good stuff.
What I think about that, I could see this more of as like a little church problem, where because there's so few people, they'd rather confide in the married ones to lead worship, to lead services, to do things that they don't trust the single people to do. I don't necessarily have seen it, but because I mean, I still haven't started to serve because I do have a very demanding job. But I would say maybe I've even seen it in my own job, where I get the hard hours that nobody wants because I'm not married, I don't have kids. That sometimes I'm like, well, how's that fair? Just because I'm single, like, you're gonna give me all the hard stuff, the night shift duties. Why? Because I don't have kids? Like, that's not fair. Come on,
Yeah, that's discrimination. You might want to talk to your HR department about that.
Right? No, yeah, but I could see that, but because from my old church, I kind of did feel when I was leading Sunday school, sometimes I did feel, because I was single, my advice wasn't taken as everybody would with someone that was married, because they see it like, well, what does she know?
Gotcha.
I'm over here talking about, like, guys, you should do this in marriage. Like, when you are married, you should be like this. And then he would blow me off, like, well, what do you know? You've never been married to a man, so what do you know? And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a brain, and I can have opinions and things about what the Bible teaches us.
Yeah.
What God can show me. That doesn't mean that you discount my singleness because of that.
Man. Okay. Thank you all for your all's input. I'm gonna try. Yeah, go for it, bro.
So before we finish the podcast, do you guys want to do like a advice to single people that each one of us would give? Like just go one by one, and then we'll close it off there.
I would totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Do
Um,
you want to start, or do you want to, or were you gonna do something
I say
else?
Art ends it since he's married.
True.
yeah.
Yeah, you're the
He's
most
the-
experienced ones out of all of us. So
Yeah.
No. Well, I do want to answer her question,
okay.
Go for it, man.
which was talk about how the church sees single people. I can only answer for what I've experienced and what I've seen. And I can see both. I can see where an unhealthy church leader, no, I'm not going to say the word leader. I could see how an unhealthy person of authority in a church
Okay.
would place would be nitpicking people in certain ministries based on their marital status.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a very foolish thing to do,
Yeah.
because marriage status does not equal
Why?
what wisdom.
I know what you mean.
Marriage status doesn't equal discipline. It doesn't equal character. It doesn't equal any of that stuff. Just, I've known, and I know some horrific husbands.
Yeah.
I know and have known some horrific wives. People are people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do they view single people? Well, I'm not the church. I'm a worship pastor. That's it. Like, I love to praise God, and that's it. About the politics in the church, I can't really speak to it.
Yeah.
I would say this. I would say it would be wise of a church. I'm not talking about my church. I'm just talking about capital C church across the world, right? I think it would be wise to vet people not on their marital status, but rather on their fruit
Yes.
Yeah.
and on the ministry. You have to fit the person to the ministry.
Yeah.
If now, I don't know the context of this comment that this person put, but for example, if you're single and you weren't put to lead the marriage ministry,
Well, then there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, if my dentist never went to dentist school, I kind of don't want to see you for my teeth.
Yeah. If my barber never learned how to cut hair, I never want to go with him.
Exactly.
So,
I think the person has to fit the ministry regardless of marital status. If you do feel like there was a disservice done to you based on your singleness, I do want to apologize to you on behalf of Big C Church, because we're supposed to be not like that.
Yeah.
But again, just because it's church doesn't mean it's perfect people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see church as a hospital. It's hurt people that just found a savior. That's what we are. We're all
100%.
imperfect, and we're all that. I've seen it time and time again. Man, that's very, I hate, I that makes me sad, bro. That if truly it's been seen time and time again, I would totally give that to God, because you don't want that to fester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want,
And dwell in you either.
yeah, you don't want that to create something that's going to push you away from the Lord, because again, there is no perfect church.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm not justifying anybody, okay?
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is the truth. The perfect church does not exist.
Yep.
Because where there's a church, there's people. People are imperfect. So yeah, that's my thought on that.
Yeah,
That's good. That was great.
I'm sorry
You
for that.
closed it off.
Sorry for that. So,
No, I love that, man.
all right. Advice for single people.
Yeah.
You guys want to go first?
Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I would say everybody go first, but keep it to 30 seconds or less.
All right.
Because
I'm gonna speed run mine then.
Go for it.
So basically, advice I have for single people is one, learn to be intimate with the Lord. Sergio and I talked about it. If you can't be intimate with the Lord, you're not gonna learn how to be intimate with your partner or your spouse or your girlfriend. So learn to be intimate with the Lord. Number two, learn to really love yourself and how the Lord made you and know who you are. Be secure in yourself. Don't stop working on yourself, even after marriage. That doesn't go away. Like, don't pretend like, oh, I'm married now, so I'm just gonna go and start going back to my unhealthy habits. Nope. Keep on working on yourself, even with your spouse. Your spouse deserves it. Don't compare yourself to others.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace the fact that we are all different and wonderfully made by the Lord. And then the last one, when you really know yourself, you know what you bring and what you offer. And, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
My advice would just be to anybody. You're not gonna find somebody if you're just at home watching Netflix, you know?
Yep.
You do have to put yourself out there if you're intending on getting married. Don't even start dating if that's not your intention.
Yeah.
And that would be my biggest advice is give it to the Lord, pray about it, be happy where you're at, because maybe later on when you are married, you're gonna regret not enjoying more of the single times.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I would say, like, my advice for people that come from broken homes, like, your parents' relationship is not your relationship.
Yeah.
You know? And have faith in that. That, like, the Lord is good. The Lord gives good things. And He's faithful. And for those of those, like, in church struggling with singleness and everything, the Bible says that seek first the kingdom of God and all these things will come in added. Learn to be content in Him.
Yeah.
Learn that your happiness comes from Him. Your fulfillment, your purpose comes from Him, not a person.
100%.
And be in community, man. Don't be alone. Singleness is not as easy. Even though singleness means that you're
that doesn't mean
alone,
isolation. Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you're alone. Like, surround yourself by people that love you, because there is people that love you. There is people that will teach you true love. And when that right person comes, man, like, be all for it.
Yeah.
You know, have faith in that person, trust that person. When anything, trust in the Lord. Give it to the Lord, pray about it, and trust that the Lord is good and He gives good things to us.
That's great.
Great stuff, guys. I would say, single person, focus. I'm going to tell you like I tell my children, there's only two things you can control, your attitude and your actions.
Yeah.
I would say, focus with the action part, focus on becoming the best version of you, whatever that entails.
Yeah.
Especially if you have childhood trauma, because that will come up in a marriage, and that could absolutely destroy your marriage. So be self-aware. I think if you're listening to this podcast, you're the type of person that is already curious and wants to learn and wants to, become. So I would invite you to really explore that, become curious about yourself, learn what your tics are, learn what your triggers are, learn what you don't like. Why don't you like that? Learn about yourself the most you can. I'm a huge advocate for therapy. So if you can enroll yourself in mental therapy, dude, by all means, you will uncover a lot of things that you didn't even know were there. Because your future spouse deserves it.
Yep.
I would say do not put marriage and a relationship on a pedestal, because you make bad decisions when you get desperate.
Yeah.
The Israelites got desperate.
Yeah.
The Israelites got desperate when Moses got them out of Egypt, and what did they do? They made a golden calf to worship. Moses was desperate that all these people were complaining in the desert that they had no food and no drink. God told him, speak to the rock, and Moses in his desperation hit the rock because he had so much faith in his little staff. And that didn't turn out so well for him. So don't get desperate, man. Have patience in God. And we're talking about Christian dating here. So if you truly are a Christian, you truly are leaving it to God. You truly are becoming the best version of you. And I would invite you to check out some resumes.
Yeah.
Whether you're a man or a woman. Because I don't see, yes, girls, I understand. Well, he should be the one to initiate. Well, yeah, but there's nothing wrong with it. you know. And if someone's out there judging you for it and wants to call you a negative name just because you invited a dude to coffee, is she really that friend? Is she, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think that's putting yourself out there in a negative way.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. You're just getting to know the person, but get to know them without physical.
Yeah.
Truly.
Boundaries.
And there's a lot more, but
That's good.
I would just say start there, man.
That was great, man. Loved it.
Guys, we had an amazing time.
Yeah.
Great.
We could probably do session number 2. I was not expecting it to go this long.
3 hours. Man.
How long was it?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh,
God,
man.
Wow.
With, you know, I'll probably edit a couple things.
Yeah. Couple heresies said.
A couple, yeah. No, but no, I'm just kidding, guys. No, it was great. It was great. Thank you guys for volunteering.
Thank
This
you,
was our first volunteer basis episode that we've done.
I loved it.
And you know, I'm glad that y'all took the leap of faith to come on, to be vulnerable, to share your thoughts, and to give hope to everybody.
Thank you guys.
Love y'all. If you found this to be of a blessing to you, share it with someone that it might help. You can follow us on Instagram at _lightstand altogether. If you're gonna look for us on YouTube, light stand has to be together. Don't put a space between light and stand, because then for whatever reason you don't get a hit. We'll tag these guys on the post if you guys like them on this podcast and you want to follow them and get to know them. They are single and ready to meet. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't have social media right now.
Giving us free advertising.
No, I'm just kidding. No, guys, but truly, it was a pleasure hanging out with y'all. And we will catch y'all in the next time, guys. Have a good one. Buenas noches. Que Dios los bendiga.
Peace.